Seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling.
I took his time out, he didn't have none, trying to kneel it down. Look at his face. I'm a fierce competitor. He choked. I didn't.
Gabe, where'd you come up with that?
I took his time out, he didn't have none, trying to kneel it down. Look at his face. I'm a fierce competitor. He choked. I didn't.
Gabe, where'd you come up with that?
Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Seeking a place where you're free.
Direction, choose your own path.
You know this is the home of We Major, Me Frosty, Unfamous, and the restricted codes and brands. Let's get it.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention. Stay alert. And remember, choose your own path.
Direction, choose your own path.
Don't just wear anything. Wear garments that mean something. We got hats. We got sweatshirts. We got jackets. We even got hoodies. Let's not forget our classic tees. Direction, choose your own path.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention. Stay alert. And remember, choose your own path.
I took his time out, he didn't have none, trying to kneel it down. Look at his face. I'm a fierce competitor. He choked. I didn't.
Gabe.
Yo, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. We in the building. Salute to everybody who here so far, man. Hold on 1 second. My fault. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend, man. Salute. 1 second. I forgot to plug this shit. I can hear that. Yeah. Let's get it, man. Yo, fellas, what's poppin'? Everybody, all right? Sean, what's goody?
It's like a
enjoying life, bro. Enjoying life. How y'all feeling?
I think it's like a noise that it's making now. It's light though.
Going now? Huh?
We still hear it. There. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Yeah, can y'all hear it?
Yeah, it's like a little air type of noise or something. Giving off like a little airwave type of thing.
It's still there?
Yeah, but it's not that bad. We could work through it, but if you want it to be clear.
Hold on.
It went away.
You just did something when you plugged that up, boy. When you just
So it went away?
Yeah.
Huh?
No, we could still hear it, motherfucker.
For real? If it is, I'm gonna turn my shit back on. I can't hear shit.
Did it go away yet?
Nope.
He got the baby rocker next to him or something.
It's good. We'll
It's
work
going
through
now.
it, motherfucker. Now it's gone. There it is.
Now it's gone.
Yeah.
Now it's back, right?
Now it's back.
All right. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend, man. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Now it's going, right?
No, now it's back. Now it's.
I'll figure out what's wrong with this input. All right, man. Let's get it, man. Sean, what's good?
Man, moving through traffic, bro. How you feeling?
Good, man. I'm trying to do the right thing, man. How about you? How was graduation and all that?
Graduation was great, man. We had to get through so many Patels and shit. So many goddamn Indian shit. But nah, it was good, man. Got this over, you know.
Yeah, that's a fact, though. It's a lot of Indians in Jersey. That's for damn sure. God damn, son. Then the Sikhs don't want to be called Indian. I'm like, y'all the same saying nigga to me, nigga. That's what's up, man. Make sure you go follow Sean Antonio on Instagram. If you a poet, a rapper, get in tune with him. The clothing and all that, get in tune with him. The website is under construction. Sean Antonio, make sure, I think Empress will get here soon. And she'll make sure that she rotates the links. You already know what it is. Strada, what's popping?
How you?
I'm trying to do the right thing, B. How you?
Good. Life good. Life great.
Indeed, man. SPS in the building, man. Salute. I gotta keep turning this door. You know what I mean? Strada, y'all got Instagram too and all that, or on the YouTube?
Just on the YouTube for now. Like I said,
right.
we expand out. But you can catch us on the Facebook Live on some of our personal channels.
Word. Make sure y'all lock in. My bad, go ahead.
You good. Just putting that pain in. You know the count.
You already, man. Yeah, man. SPS in the building, man. Go like, share, and subscribe. That's a must. You heard? Great content, great people, more importantly. Sha, what's popping? You know what I mean?
What's popping? Another day.
Another opportunity to do better than I did yesterday.
That's a fact, though, man. I like it. You already know the grind, man. If it sounds like a broken record, so be it, motherfucker.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So make sure y'all go tap in with Shad on Instagram, man. We want to be the first to support him before he make it. You know what I mean?
Do that.
So, and then what had happened though? The film got what's the proper verbiage?
So I want to save all the pleasantries for the end because right now I'm locked in, right? And so I'm here to do the Lord. I'm here to do the Lord's work. I'm fighting the forces of evil today. So we'll save the pleasantries for later.
Say less. All right, well, fuck it then. Let me go ahead and get through this. Corn here. What's up, Corn? Follow Corn on Instagram and all that. That nigga's popular. He was just on the news and shit like that. CJ boxes. Arnold got the shiesty on. And Bino SPS is in the building. My apologies, Shaw. I'm off. You feel me?
You off?
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm being all nice. I'm giggling and all that. I realize that ain't that type of party. I apologize. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it can be. It can be.
I mean, I see boy with the shiesty, and you can see his keyboard. You know what I mean? Like that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know if keyboard there.
I don't know if he's scamming or robbing.
You feel me? DJ sitting up straight. You know what I mean? Like shit different. He got a real expensive headphones on and all that. So let me shut the fuck up. Shaw, what's popping?
A lot of shit, man. You know, before I popped up tonight, I was at a work function, and I told a couple of my coworkers, I said, I'm having a conversation on a podcast today about extrapolating statistics. They said, "Oh, okay, are you talking to some scientists?" I said, "Nah." They said, "Some students?" I said, "Nah." He said, "Who are you talking to?" I said, "A bunch of fucking bandits." A bunch of fucking bandits.
God.
And they got a little nervous. They was like, "Is it Billy the Kid? Is it Wyatt? Is it Wyatt?" I said, "No, man. It's fucking Arnold and his fucking minion CJ. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good." So I'm ready to get to it. What we talking about? What's the topic? Where we starting?
Where we starting, man? It's like I'm slightly out the loop. Where should we start, man?
Let's start with these stats, man.
Okay.
Let's start with these stats. For too long, we've been allowing niggas who ain't never stepped into an advanced science class tell actual stewards of data how we supposed to interpret it, how we supposed to communicate it. And I'm sick of it, bro. I'm sick of it because science actually has rules in which we engage. HAMP, you a part of a 3-letter organization, right?
Yes, sir.
Can anybody put the letters on?
No.
Not because they just want to see what it look like, see if they feel good, and they can't do that.
They can't do that.
Hey, CJ, you a boxer, right?
Correct.
Can I kick you in the boxing ring?
No, you cannot kick in the ring.
If I want to practice my other moves, why I can't kick you? I don't understand. So what I'm struggling with is why when it comes to science, we got to start making up shit just to create narratives. Because no responsible, respected scientist or scholar would ever do it. But when we come to the internet now, it's time for the sake of conversation. And I don't understand why y'all are so dedicated to pseudoscience. But I'm not actually confused. I know what the intent is because y'all got narratives. Y'all got enemies. So instead of having intellectual, insightful conversations about science based on the rules, y'all want to do pseudoscience to make the women look bad. Bad form, fellas, bad form. So let's talk about how we got here, right? And I did provide some notes. I'm being a hypocrite. Let me go ahead and say that today Rashad has been a hypocrite. Call me out later in the Discord. It's cool. I'm being a hypocrite. But I wanted to make sure when I had this conversation, I have it right because it's important. A few episodes ago, we had a content creator by the name of Mr. Fantastic. And he came up and he made a statement. He said 50% of black women have herpes. There was no context provided. That was the premise. 50% of black women have herpes, right? I knew what study he was talking about. That study is called the HAMP study. It's a cohort study. The last study that was done was in 2024, but in 2024 they did not update the stats on herpes. But 2008 is the data they were working from. And we've been saying this over and over and over again without the context. Now, what has happened is the bandits have tried to kind of manipulate the conversation to make it something about what it's not. My issue has always been, if we're going to use numbers, if we're going to use data, we have to use the context. Because when you don't use the context, it's just bullshit. So can we talk about the study, HAMP? But I don't want to take control of the entire conversation, but can we talk about the study and how we got to this conversation to provide a little bit more context to the audience?
Talk your shit.
All right. So the demographics of this study, right? It was 2,400 black women that were surveyed. They got the information from the medical records. The ages were 14 to 49. That was the age group. That's all the context we've been working from. Out of those 2,400 people, those 2,400 black women, 50% of those women surveyed tested positive for HSV2. What has happened is we've been asked repeatedly, the stewards of scientists, by the bandits and others, to extrapolate this number so that we can create a narrative that says, because of this stat, we can also extrapolate this to say 50% of all black women must have HSV2 as well. Now I'll stop there because I do want to give the bandits a chance to hop in, and then we can continue talking about my gripe with the way these guys choose to interpret science. I yield the floor.
So you want to just talk about that study and how it's imperfect, right? So when you was writing your thesis statement, did you come up with a study that we could use?
That ain't gonna help you, Arnold. We got to talk about why.
Not the difference between me and you is you a scientist. I'm a public administrator. I gotta see the stats, translate the stats, and use the stats in practice.
Okay.
You could just talk about how it's not a perfect statistic. I gotta use the numbers I have. I gotta know the count. So if we looking at it like that and say, okay, that's what the number is, it's a spike. No survey is perfect.
No, I've been
He got a phone call.
CJ, you want to step in for him?
Yeah, I'll step in. No survey is perfect. So I got a phone call too. So so like you said, do you have any other stats to go against what we saying here? Or are you just saying these stats are wrong, so we can't use any of this information?
So I hope the audience is listening to what's happening right now. Because what happened is my issue has never been with the numbers. The issue is how the numbers are being interpreted and communicated to the public. Based on scientific integrity, we can extrapolate statistics to have conversations, to create hypotheses. Basically, the statistics allow us to work backwards. So I'll concede that the study we're talking about says that 50% of the women surveyed had herpes. I can concede to that.
So you telling me that based on what you saw on those stats, that's the only thing you could glean off of that stat?
What I can't do is come to any conclusions, which kind of leads me to my next point, but I didn't want to make it all about me tonight. But I'm fine to keep going if I want me to, right?
So look, I guess I don't think you know who you was talking to today. So we saying that all of these people spending all of this money on university studies, doing all of this research, are wasting time because those numbers are useless.
Well, I think because you have a limited understanding of research, I understand why you think of it that way. So again, let me kind of restate what the point of these types of surveys are for, right? So when we have public health issues, these types of studies allow us to work backwards. So with this 2,400 women, 50% ending up being positive for HSV2, what it allows us to do is say, okay, there seems to be an issue within the Black community with sexual health. These are just inferences that we make. We can't make a conclusion. We can't say things like, based on this study, this means all women are hoes. That's not how science works. But what we can say is, based on this sample size, we have some things to figure out. So there could be things like, well, do they have proper habits? Do they have access to proper medical care? These are some of the questions you can answer. You can't create causation to say women are hoes. Let me tell you why. Let me ask you a question, CJ. How many times do you have to have sex to get herpes?
Once.
What makes a whore? How many bodies does a woman have to be a whore?
More than one, I would say. About 3 or 4.
Okay. Can you get herpes without any type of symptoms? Can you transmit herpes without symptoms?
Yes.
Okay. So if you just agree with me that a person can have sex one time and get herpes, but your qualification for whore is more than one, help me understand how your interpretation of this stat that we keep talking about means that all women are whores based on this
Not,
study.
well, okay, well, it's easily defeated. We didn't take this stat and just say all women were whores. We took this stat and we put a lot of other things with this stat, determining body count, women interactions. We all determined, as you guys said, most women have rosters, which mean that, and we all figured that we're fucking at least 1 or 2 guys on our roster. And what do you determine a whore to be? What is the whore in your definition?
Well, I think we had a conversation a few episodes ago, and I said having sex indiscriminately.
Indiscriminately. Okay, so if the men have a lower STD rate, in this specific one, herpes, but the women have a higher STD rate, who would you say is having more sex indiscriminately?
I'm sorry, she just asked me again. My bad, bro.
If the men have a lower herpes rate compared to the women, who would you say is having more sex indiscriminately?
I can't answer that question based off the what you just provided, so I can come up with a guess. But
guess.
I can't come up with a fact.
Guess for us. Just guess.
Based off what you just said, I could assume it's the women.
Okay, and we put that stat with the fact that women have a roster of men that they're dealing with, the fact that women go outside with scag clothing on, then they're revealing most of their body. We've coupled that with the fact that women start having sex at an early age and they don't get married till 29, 30. We could assume that most women are having sex indiscriminately. Like you said, your definition of whore is. So it's not it's not just the herpes stat, it's the herpes stat combined with the other facts that we just pointed out.
Well, based off the information I just provided about the study, we kind of got to put the study over here, and we can discuss these other things that you want to discuss about clothing. But that study I just provided, that has rules, that has limitations based on the data, we can't use that for the conversation about whores.
What did you say to disqualify the study, though? Go ahead.
So in terms of the scientific strategies, right? A lot of these studies, the calculations, the data collected is reactive. So if they're seeing a trend, then they conduct a survey to confirm or deny that trend, right? Like, would the study be reactive to what's going on around it? And then the study says this is an issue that we need to mine through now that we have the data.
I don't think
it's the other way around.
So the study is proactive. Like, so I guess what would make the study want to compile these people together specifically?
It's basically like the overall health of the population. They don't just focus on STD. They focus on obesity. They focus on a couple of different factors. This is just one of the many factors of the study.
So they're conducting study hella high water. They're going to say, survey people about herpes, survey people about AIDS. Right. And then what they found was disproportionately Black women had HSV2 more so than other demographics.
Right.
And now they take the study and they don't say Black women are the most promiscuous. They say, what is the disparity in treatment, access, condom usage? Okay. So literally, Shad, on Monday's show, right? I used this stat similarly because I asked the question, I think Bino said reverse Uno card because I was asking, okay, 10,000 black men committed these violent crimes that we get put on us. So do you take those 10,000 to say, see, black men are violent, or do you say, see, they're arrested disproportionately because the arrests are similar, but the convictions is where we start to have more, right? And I said, do you take that and say black men are violent? There were people in the chat that say yes. So now if you say yes to that, can I take the herpes stat and say all black women have herpes? They say no, but you have to keep the logic consistent, or else it falls flat.
Right, exactly.
But it depended on what side people were on. You see, exactly. I was saying the numbers are nominal either way. 10,000 to 20 million and 2,000 to 22 million. Those are nominal numbers. But what we do with that information matters, and it's not the cast aspersions.
Right, exactly. And that's the problem, because when you start to add the context, what you'll find, and you'll find this amongst a few different things, which is why I think in some ways we're complicit in the way our images, because we always use kind of the same cohort of people to talk about us. We always use the poorest, least educated to talk about everything when it comes to black people. Even when we try to create content, a lot of times we create it around those same communities. But what you'll find, even in this study, when you break down the age demographic, the socioeconomic class, you'll see as it goes up, more education, more money, all these things are decreasing. Crime, STDs, all these things.
Yeah, there are stark correlations, right? And here's the fact that comes to mind. And then Arnold, you could jump back in because I know you got kicked off. Did they come?
Yeah, they did.
Arnold, okay. All right, my wife about to walk in too. We about to get to it. Shad, you know what you just pointed out that is interesting to me? Crime statistics, STD statistics, they have common denominators.
Yes.
That's like a key component of it. So I'm shooting niggas, she fucking niggas, I go to jail, she get HSV too. We come from similar demographic.
Yes. If you actually do a lit review, you will see that consistently. In impoverished places, there's a lot of irresponsible sex. There's a lack of family planning. There's no financial literacy. There's no jobs. It all correlates together. And I think, like Arnold, I know for sure Arnold knows that. I don't know if CJ knows. I don't know if CJ actually reviewed data like that. So that's why I said, to me, it's disingenuous to do it. It's actually more than disingenuous. It's harmful. It's harmful to do it. It's harmful to take this stat and say all black women have herpes. It's harmful to do it because it's not necessary. If you actually read the information in the results section, they talk about this. They talk about exactly what I'm saying.
I don't know why.
You're not going to find nowhere in the study they say, well, based on this, we've decided that women are promiscuous in their whores. You're not going to find it.
We're not saying that. Why do you keep saying the same thing? First of all,
we're not saying it today.
Hold on. He said all women. Why would he say all women when the stats say 50%? No one with intelligence is going to say, if the stats that say 50% of these people have this, and you're going to say all the black women have it. That makes zero sense. Second of all, he just saying a bunch of shit that makes zero fucking sense.
Key question to that is, okay, all is hyperbolic, right? But I guess the question on the table is saying 50% of them have it also equally as hyperbolic and harmful. That's the question that's on the table, essentially.
Is it true or is it false? He's just saying it's hyperbolic, but the stats say it's true.
It's what
like Arnold said.
Right, I'm saying it is. So what? I don't think that you even trying to come to a conclusion based on those numbers, right? So somebody did some research, and are you willing to come to a conclusion about those numbers? Are you just saying it's a bad survey and we could throw it out? Period.
No,
that's not what I'm saying.
So,
I got it. Can I add another layer?
So to show me that you're doing this in good faith, what conclusion can you make from those numbers?
I got you. What's up? Just to interject real quick. I think that you have to go a layer deep when we're talking about scientific papers, meaning the team of scientists that were put together, they have a specific purpose as to why the abstract even exists, right? There's a reason why they're doing said study. So I would suggest if anyone's going to use a stat, the least you could do is read the abstract, because what the abstract is going to do is explain to you the context as to why the data was gathered, what they're trying to prove, and next steps in study, right? So I think that if we're going to use any statistics at all, based on the paper that you're reading, it's important to understand who's conducting a survey, why they're doing it, and their accreditation. All that can be found in the abstract, but pulling the number solely, it's easy to take it out of context because you have to be proven and learned to even be published, right? So that's an important piece to remember, is that you have to be accredited in order to be published with any findings that you have. But you have to be very concise when you're presenting the data, and you have to explain it throughout the scientific paper. The number is just one piece of a larger story. So if you're going to use any stat, I would just highly recommend anybody. At the least you could do is read the abstract. It's going to give you the way they did the study, what it included, and why they're even doing it. But if you take it out of that context, your interpretation is kind of baseless. Does that make sense?
So yes, they have an agenda for the study, right? But this right here seems to be something they do for each and every category. They collect data and statistics, right? So Arnold, I think here's what I hear when I understand it that way, is that it's not to draw a conclusion, but rather to make correlations and figure out how they can help those people that overrepresent in negative statistics, or what is happening in those communities. Not to say black women have herpes and they be hoeing. I think it's to say, what do these people need so that these numbers can drop, so to speak? You see? So I don't think that's a conclusive thing as much as understanding thing.
We're in agreement on that as far as how that works. I'm saying that when we're looking at those numbers,
That's not how it works. It's not how it works. That's not what it is. That's not how it works. It's
let me finish, Fantastic. Then you could go. So I'm saying that we understand. Okay, they was trying to. Okay, they might have saw a trend. Okay, let's test 2,500 to get a sample size. Right. Then we could say, okay, hey, the black woman in this area, say a southeast DC, are having this issue. Right. So we need to put the resources to that neighborhood to make sure that these women are getting tested and they get the antibiotics. Blah 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 blah. That's what they're doing. So the issue is that when we have these conversations, we have to pull right the available information, right? So if we're saying that stat was used incorrectly, I can agree with that. But for the Southeast DC, whoever they were studying, those numbers stand because that sample size is a sample of that area.
So this particular study was taken from women across the United States.
Is that so?
That proves our point even more.
It does.
So can I?
No. I was giving an example, something that was more concrete as far as a sample size that you could hold as concrete.
Every sample size is concrete, bro. First off,
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Every sample size is not concrete.
It literally is, bro. It's when you're talking about medical data or whatever, and it's literally the thing. I forget what it is. It's a principle. It's a principle that describes it. You only need so many people to make. Well, not my bad. I take it back. Not every sample size is concrete. But the principle, and Shad probably knows, and Sean probably knows.
You're right. Yeah, it is. You're right. It's a statistical principle that allows us to extrapolate. You're right.
Thank you. Okay, so that's what. Okay. No, everybody's framing this wrong. Okay, this isn't. They weren't taking tests. They didn't go and purposely test these women. It's medical data. So this is medical data that's already compiled, like you said, nationally. They don't have to go track it. They don't have to go test nobody. They look at the results. Hold on, Shad. I don't know why you shaking your head.
Wrong, bro. You're wrong. I literally just read the study. They got tested. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
I'm saying you're not listening. Of course they got tested, but they didn't purposely test them for herpes. So like when a woman routinely goes to get tested for pap smears or whatever the fuck, it's STD testing, and it comes up positive, they don't just test her for herpes only. They test for all STDs, and they just happen to have herpes. So I'm not wrong. Please don't do that, brother. So what I'm saying is this is medical data that's compiled of all STDs, because a woman may have herpes, she may have chlamydia, she may have gonorrhea, she may have HIV, or she might have a combo of them, right? So they're not specifically only testing for one and then saying, okay, that what they do is a running thing. And once you compile the data to say, like I said, nationally, black women overrepresent in that number. And even though, again, the reason why, of course, and I'm glad, shout out to CJ for catching that. Shad was hitting y'all with the okie doke, and y'all just let him kept saying all. Okay, obviously it's not all when the thing says 50%. that he just admitted,
When
right?
I say all, when I say all,
You said all the whole time. You were literally saying the whole time. I'm not even if you may
There
not
was
have
a-
been intentional.
Yeah,
It may
It
not
was a
be.
misunderstanding, but keep going. It was a
Okay.
misunderstanding in what they
Okay,
were saying. Go ahead.
So it's an overrepresentation. Even like you say, Hamp, when we talk about the 10,000 or whatever, you extrapolate the data, black men overrepresent in violent crimes. Okay, right? So if you overrepresent in violent crimes, well, of course you go overrepresent in convictions because you have more, you commit more violent crimes. What are we talking about?
Well,
not true either. Just
so I want to start with the first point. So I'm looking over the study again. There were laboratory tests conducted. I'm just trying to make sure because it's you made it seem like we're disagreeing, but I think we're not disagreeing. The HAMP study, which we're using to talk about now, laboratory tests were conducted. They did a full panel, a full STD panel. Is that what you're saying? That what you're saying? Mr. Test? Okay.
I'm saying they didn't do this and specifically go out. Women go. They. I'm pretty sure they collected this data from some sort of health clinic.
No, that's what I'm saying. No,
So real quick. Let's do this, right? Shad has the floor to ask Mr. Fantastic not leading or loaded questions, but yes or no questions so that we can make sure we're on the same page, right? As he walks through this study specifically. All right.
So
all right, go ahead, Shad. Start again what you were saying.
They had what these call these mobile command centers. And the participants went to these mobile command centers and got tested. They didn't pull information from previous medical visits. It was done within the study.
So hold on. So this was only wherever they. So even okay. So I'll give you that, right? So you're saying like one of the HIV trucks?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So even still, Shad, listen, they didn't select the people that it was the people that went to them and used them.
You're right.
It's still compiled of the same thing. So it may not be okay clinics and shit or so on and so forth, right? But even if we're doing this, white women, Hispanic women, black women, all the women that went to those things, they weren't selected. They just happened to go there, and the data was collected from that. It's not that they saying they set the study up, right? They didn't set the motherfucking study up to find the shit or purposely for that. It's a service provided, and the women just happen to have it. Then they made it a study. You see what I'm saying? Just like the HIV truck, right? So when you get the blood test or the medical procedure tested and it comes back, okay, well, damn, we're going to compile the data anyway, right? To see what goes on. And then you can have a study because you have the data there that says, oh, shit, there's a spike in this group. So what we're going to do is now we'll start monitoring it, right? And go from there and see what happens if, like you guys were talking about the trend earlier. So I might have been, I can see that I was wrong on the part about, it's just being from the thing, but it's still the same thing, just a smaller, more concentrated thing versus a clinic. It's still a running thing that they do all the time. Whatever they're using this person, I'm pretty sure it is something they just do just for that data.
They've been doing it for about 30 years. I think the last time they did, they haven't updated the results since 2008.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So they've been doing it for 30 years. What they did was it was a service that was already, and if I'm wrong, or if you don't disagree, say so. But it was a service that already existed, and then they just took the data, compiled it, and then came to the, to the conclusion of the hypothesis.
And to Fantastic's point, hold on. They say another study focusing on fibroid development in the Detroit area recorded 1,696 African American women between 2010 and 2020. While this study primary focus was not herpes, it did include serological testing. So to Fantastic point, they wasn't testing for the herpes, but they were testing for the fibroid. But during that testing, they tested for herpes, and they found out, and they compiled the stats, and they put it together, and they found out that 50% of the black women have what we're discussing today.
Damn.
So just to provide clarity for everybody, the issue isn't the numbers in the study. The issue is the way y'all extrapolate the data to say, based on these studies, we can say that 50% of black women have herpes based off these studies. That's where the error is. It's not the stats. I said that in the beginning, CJ. That was my issue. When I first heard Mr. Fantastic use the stat, that's the way Mr. Fantastic communicated. He said, I just read a study and 50% of black women got herpes.
Yeah,
you literally just said,
So Shad, we'll do this, Shad. So Shad, if it's not 50%, how much is it?
We can't test it, fantastic. So we don't know what the raw number for all the black women in America is. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
Hold on, real quick. Fantastic.
Hold on, CJ. Hold on, CJ. Shot, I'm not missing nothing. Give me time, brother.
He just said it. He said, "I'm not saying the stats is wrong, but I'm saying the stats is wrong."
I
literally just said that.
Let me handle it. I got to even go back to what he said. Shad, did you not say right and agree to that there's a process, right? That a formula that can be used to extrapolate data by a number, certain numbers, sample size, correct?
The extrapolation, I'm gonna say it clearly that no matter how you extrapolate, you can't come to the conclusion that based off this sample of 2,400 women, I can take this sample and now screen to the masses. Well, based off my 2,400, based off this extrapolation principle, I can say 50% of black women have herpes because in this study I did, 50% of them had herpes. You can't do it.
So how does it transfer over to the crime rate though? So that's what I'm confused.
It doesn't. That's what HAMP just said, Mr. Fantastic. It don't. It doesn't.
It doesn't define a behavior for an entire demographic, right? And I think that's the key. So what is the threshold and what is a threshold number that can be extrapolated to an entire populace? See, that would be problematic. I don't know if 2,000 would do it.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, and it would. And Shad admitted to it earlier. I just don't know the name of the principle. There's a principle and a formula to where you need this set amount of people in order to extrapolate it amongst the masses. Okay, so listen, Hamp. What? 347 million people in America, right?
Yeah.
1% of that would be 3 million, right?
Yeah.
Do you know any 3 million survey that is used for the most part? No, Hamp. The largest sample size you have is a couple 100,000 and so on and so forth. Right?
Yeah, unless the census, obviously.
So that's what I'm saying. So if we can use well under 1% for most surveys to hold true, why are we fighting this one?
And Mr. Fantastic, do you know any researchers personally?
Researchers personally, no.
No, like because all I want you to do is don't take Shai's word for it. Find somebody that has a PhD who actually does research and ask them.
Okay,
can you make the conclusion based off a study, based off 4 studies? Can you make the conclusion based off these small sample sizes using those extrapolation principles? Would you be practicing scientific integrity if you was to go in front of a room of people and say, I just did a study and I had 10 people and 5, and I'm using a small number just to make sense for everybody, and I had 5, and so that's 50%. So I could take that number based off the extrapolation principles and say for the masses it would be the same thing.
And just selection bias, just for the record.
That's why I'm conceding the point where I can't think of the name of the principle, and I don't know the number that's needed for it to be that. But whatever that number is holds true, right? And then furthermore, CJ just threw a whole nother fucking grenade in the situation. CJ said the same results or similar results happen in a totally unrelated study. So
cool. I can find 10 studies that say in most states, 75% of the violent crime happens by black men between the age of 12 and 20. So based off that, anywhere I go where there's black men between the age of 12 and 20, I can automatically say most of the violent crimes are going to come from them. And we would not stand for that, bro. The logic don't fit.
Why would we not stand for it if that's what the crime data says?
It's just hard to have a conversation because like you want it to make sense so you can have a conversation. But like I said, there are rules to how you do science, Mr. Fantastic, and you can't extrapolate based off these studies to say things like, I'm gonna keep saying it plain. You can't say things like based off these 3 studies, 50% of black women have herpes.
Okay, so I will concede that it's not 50%.
Okay, well, I don't have no more problems. I don't have no more problem with y'all saying, bro. I don't have no more problems.
I will concede that it's not 50%. So what do we want to say? Is it 10%? We
just guessing now. We just guessing.
Right, but hold on, but now it's educated guess. We talking about science. Science is all about educated guess, correct?
This not how. Okay.
Hold on. So even though I may not be a data collector, brother, I understand hypothesis and thesis and all these different things that's on proposals. Go ahead, Ham.
Well, so the reason why it's not a hypothesis, right? The hypothesis, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, is formed by the person who did the research and the study. And all of they mix the chemicals. That person would then come with a hypothesis, right? When you're looking at data and you want to extrapolate it, the most you can do, and this isn't out of ignorance, right? If you infer this, I think that's what you can do by assessing data, but it wouldn't be a hypothesis by definition. I'm just saying when I just want to make sure you.
So like you said, Hamp, you don't have to make the hypothesis because the number and information is right there for you. So again, and we're talking about
No. What I'm saying is your conclusion wouldn't be a hypothesis. What you could do if you look at data is infer a thing on a populace, although the accuracy is in question.
Yeah, it was still, but with hypothesis and not an inference, it would still meet the educated guess or taking the information that's been gathered and conclusion.
Drawing a conclusion
is what I'm saying. So and furthermore, so then you go back to the principle. Now we gonna say, 50% can mean 1%. No, we know that. So what Shad don't want to do now is say still, even though it may not be 50%, it has to be somewhere near close to it, brother.
Find me a study in the literature. Find me a study that when you see a scientist, someone who's peer reviewed and respected in the industry, to say, based off their study, I'm concluding that 40% of the population is this or that. Find it. Find it.
Well,
they're only going to talk about this. They're only going to talk about the sample size that they use. They're never going to take that information and use it for the entire populace.
I got the perfect answer. Obesity rates. So are we gonna fight the obesity rates too? Why everybody quiet?
They do this with
Stop, CJ.
I don't know what you're asking me.
Are we gonna fight the obesity rates?
What are you asking me?
So the obesity rates say that they're high. They're actually, hold on, bro. They're actually over 50%. All right, where black women overrepresent. So we gonna say that's a lie too?
So show me the study that says what you said.
What do you mean? We talk about it here and everywhere else. The CDC says it.
Show me the study.
Brother, the CDC. So
hold on.
So the CDC not good enough?
Hold on, bro. Listen. No, so we saying as far as the sample that you have, right? I don't know if this is what y'all was talking about, right? We call it a low confidence, right, on the sample size. As far as we probably 60% sure, 70% sure that this happened, right? The more people you get on your sample size, the higher your confidence is in your survey.
Arnold, there's a lot that goes into confidence limits. You really oversimplify confidence limits.
The way we oversimplify.
That's why I'm a
really just over. Hey, look, for people who don't know confidence limits, that sounds good, but that's not. It don't go like that, bro. You just oversimplify.
Then you explain it.
No, I'm not.
So Sean. Well, Sean, you keep the floor. You and Arnold keep the floor, right? So, Mike Brown dropped it in the chat. YAMANE formula. Yamane formula, right? So it says that there's several different variables, right? Because so let me read it real quick. Yamane formula is a statistical formula used to determine the necessary sample size for a finite population survey or study. It is widely used for researchers to estimate how many individuals they need to include in their study to ensure their findings are representative of a larger population, right? So it gives an example here. So it says if you have a population of 10,000 people and want a margin of error of 5%, right? And the Yamane formula would calculate a sample size of approximately 385. So this one, so this one wants a margin of error of 5%. So 10,000, you need 385 people. So 20 million, you need how many?
So what's the percentage?
5% margin of error. So if you want
what the percentage of the people?
Population. So 300 is what percent of 10,000?
5% looks like, right?
Like 3%, 3%,
3.5 million will be 1 million.
Of 20 million?
Yeah, because 10% would be 2 million, and half of that will be 1 million.
Yeah. So this one is excuse me. This one is so this is with a 5% margin of error, you see? So if we want a margin of error of 5%, then you would need 1 million, right? Essentially, to then extrapolate those findings as accurate for the majority populace. So based on the Yamane formula, 2,000 wouldn't do it for 20 million. Based on this formula to try a broad conclusion to the mass.
Okay, let me look at the CDC study and see what the number of CDC compiled, because theirs is compiled of just running.
Now, this is fantastic. Real quick, CJ. You're not beholden to the 5%. It's just saying 5% is usually what the scientists use as a margin of error, so to speak.
95, 99 to 90, 95 to 90. I just Googled it, right?
Yeah.
And to
So
have a
they
95+% accuracy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they look. That's what they aim for. Yeah.
So real quick, Shaw asks, where do they take stats of a specific group of people and extrapolate it to the whole populace? That's how stats work. Mr. Scientist, that's exactly how fucking stats work. They don't test the whole populace of people. They take a sample size. That's why sample sizes were made, because they knew they couldn't test the whole populace of people, and they extrapolated to the populace.
Hey, CJ, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to Google this sentence. What are stats used for? I just want you to put that. I just want you to put that sentence in Google and tell me what it say. And I haven't even done it.
Arnold and Sean.
Hamp, why you at it? So Arnold, you talked about the confidence limits, and so for people who don't know, Hamp, if you could pull up confidence interval formula, I think that this will kind of drive the point home.
Confidence
interval.
Yeah.
Confidence
You
interval.
breaking up, Sean. Say it again, Arnold.
Confidence interval.
Yeah. Confidence interval formula.
Okay.
All right. So when I typed in what Shaw said,
hold on,
so
CJ.
this is gonna illustrate why it's exponentially oversimplify what he said. And so when you look at it, CI equals the sample mean plus or minus Z, which is a confidence level value. And you know what I'm saying? And then you got the sample standard deviation over the square root of the sample size. So what Arnold said, when I tell you that to get to that number, most people have never even seen something.
You breaking up, Sean.
But I bet you didn't think I saw it before. The only
And I've
A's
seen
I
it
ever
before
got
too.
in school was in math. So y'all talking down about numbers, and y'all tripping.
Because I've seen it before too. So okay, so you want me to read it now? Statistics are used for collecting, analyzing, and interpreting and presenting data, helping us understand patterns and make informed decisions. There you go.
And Hamp, I got this study I just seen now. Neonatal HSV infection study included 561 cases approximately in 2019 with the data from the HCUP Kid database, which encompasses approximately 3.1 million hospitalizations, right? So this study right here applies to children, right, that are pretty much born with it. And what does it say right here? And I'll put it in the chat so y'all can read it yourself, right? A few studies address the recent burden of HSV. So in HSV, so I mean natal or neonatal probably, despite disease mortally. Where's that? Either way, it clearly says, I'm trying to find it directly, but the black children born from women had much higher rates, even from, you know what I'm saying? So we got 3.1 million hospitalizations, right? Data set encompasses approximately 3.1 million hospitalizations. That's 3.1 million. Everybody's included. Black women be included in that too. I don't know what the thing is, but even when you take the numbers and it's not just black women, there's still an exponential rise in even it being passed on to the children. So why are we arguing?
Black women?
Yes.
Of black women?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me put the link in the chat.
So how many black women, how many children had complications with herpes out of that 3.1 million? How many of them were black?
I'm trying to find the percentage.
So-called.
So once again, while he's trying to do that, for the audience, look up selection bias. What they're trying to advocate for is selection bias. It has to be with selection bias. What you're trying to discuss is something that's not a representative sample of the larger group. So you can't just take a small sample size and say it's representative. That's selection bias. You can't do that.
Okay.
Not if you want to be serious about data, you can't.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Now I want to get Bino and Cornin just to see what they're hearing. Go ahead, Arnold. My fault. You about to say something? Go ahead. My bad.
No, I'm saying that. So we understand that, but you would have to basically have sociologists in the room to be able to, like, urban planners in the room to know what the real representation of the general black woman is in order for it to be an acceptable sample. Yeah. Because so if you just did college women, that's not a representation of the average black woman.
Stay out the chat, CJ.
Right? You would have to know what the sociology is of the black woman to have an accurate sample of who they are.
You know, one of the biggest problems with this conversation, Arnold, we're trying to quantify something that's it's very hard to quantify. It's very hard.
That's why I said there would have to be too many people in the room and nobody paying for that.
Which is why it's very dangerous to just guess. Very dangerous.
That's why they quantified it for us. That's what we literally arguing, the quantification of it.
No,
you arguing it.
No, they didn't quantify it for us, CJ. 2,400. So look, my brain immediately goes to, okay, where did these 2,400 people come from? Was it on the college campus? Like Shah said, was it in the hood? Is it a low income area? In which case we would expect for it to over represent, which doesn't mean it's representative of the larger group. So all of that matters.
Even if you arguing that, how come the other races of people tested so much lower?
Did you see that in this?
Those are the type of conversations you have, PJ. Those are the type of conversations you're supposed to have using the information. Exactly what you just did. That's what the scientists do once the data has been collected and analyzed.
That's the question. Why did the other races test so much lower?
I can't freestyle it.
Hold on. Let me finish this question. They got all the
You on mute, Mr. Tassie.
They did all the testing from the school area, but the black women still had a higher percentage. Why would that be?
Yeah, the answer is clear. Because like you said, the evidence is there. There's no need to guess. Hold on. This isn't a guess. This is already proven through positive tests.
Thank you.
What are we talking about?
Pull that back up real quick. Can I see the results section real quick?
The Miss Fantastic had it up.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing though, when I look at the birth statistics, Strata, and you could talk your shit, I just want to say this. It says black birth parents. So now the men are implicated in that stat as well. And do we just only correlate the HSV2 to the women when those kids are birthed by a black mom and a black dad? See, that's the part that doesn't resonate in terms of only the women being implicated, right?
Well,
because they got a dad.
It's the women because it's birth, HAMP. So it's still
no, but I'm saying the sex part, right? Like, so if they had sex, he had it, gave it to her, then the baby's born. How is it just the women that are being implicated just because they have to push them out?
Because the women have HSV too.
I know, but what I'm simply saying is, go ahead, Strata. Go ahead.
Two things.
I see what you're saying. I'm just saying.
I think two things. Like I get maybe three major things from just looking at the results part of this scientific study. Is we're talking about a rate of 15.7 per 100,000 hospital births totally. And another thing I find interesting is the fact that even in the results section, they're quoting the healthcare cost of said test. So that speaks to back to intention. So my next question as a scientist would be, I need to look at the credentials of the person that actually wrote this study. Where are they building that information from, and what study comes after? Because the way actual scientific data work, let me land it. You got it, brother. Let me land it. So the way scientific data works, and even if we're talking about social sciences, what happens is these articles are published based off of previous findings, but they're all going down, and the intentionality is the same. They're all walking down the same rabbit hole. So what happens is one study's built off of next. What you show in the results section leads the next scientist to know what questions do we now ask next. So before we have our opinions as non-scientists, the people that are actually doing the work, they're trying to get to a common goal. So your author and your abstract is going to tell you who's writing it, how studied are they on this subject, and what are they really trying to convey to the average listener, the average reader. We do ourselves a disservice by jumping into a lane we aren't really expertise in. You don't understand the intentionality of the author, how long they've been studied, and what they're trying to convey to their own community. They're not talking to you.
Okay,
they're talking to each other the further the study.
That's I don't understand how we talking to scientists.
Wait, CJ, brother.
Hence the value of peer review, right? Essentially.
Yeah. Now again, this says, hold on, put it back up there, HAMP, please.
Oh,
brother. Sorry. This is from PubMed. Okay, this is medical data. This doesn't
They're
have
not arguing the source.
Hold on, fam. Well, you are arguing the source. You just
No, I'm
challenged
not.
the source. You
No, I
asked
didn't.
that was literally what your soliloquy was
No,
about.
no, no.
Man,
That's not what I did.
they contradict themselves in the same fucking
Brother,
breath.
you
This
literally
is
just said the
insane,
source,
man.
brother.
No, no,
That's
no.
how you
They
started
say
off
shit
the
You
can't
want
be
me to
argument.
repeat it?
No,
Would you
no, no,
like
no,
me
no,
to
no.
repeat it?
Stop. He acknowledged and cited the source. He's not questioning if it's accurate. So
But
keep going,
so,
Mr. Fantastic. You good?
so everything he says after that is moot. If the source, so the source, he couched his response in that there's a skew to the sources and the reasoning that they're doing it. This
Skew?
is a medical study from collected data. Okay.
Oh, I think he was saying that he was talking to their intent. I don't think he was saying
Okay,
it's
no, that
invalid.
wasn't the intent. No, again, you guys keep doing this backwards. It's not an intent. What
There
happens is the
Studies
data
are
is
funded by
listen,
people, by
brother.
companies. There is a intent, bro.
No, it
Intent
isn't.
matters.
No,
It-
this
I-
these
matters.
are terms.
Look,
That's
hey,
the
look,
whole-
this is what I'm gonna prove to you, right? So, aside from me being a
Mr.
scientist,
Fantastic,
right,
scroll down to the results.
my ex-wife is a scientist too. She does clinical trials for a big pharmaceutical company in New York. So I'm gonna get her to come outside and talk because she does this for a living with her master's in clinical trial science.
Camp, I just want to say this: what you're seeing is you're seeing two different sides of how research is being used and the intent, which is what Strada is saying. Mr. Fantastic is using this research to say black women got a flaw. That's not what the researchers are doing.
I know that that's we're saying the same
But
thing,
that's,
Shad.
that's the point. That's kind of the crux of the issue. You're doing something that stats don't do. You're taking the numbers and saying because of this. I'm not saying I'm speaking lightly. Women are whores. Women are whores. These are the conclusions based off the stats.
I got
That's
you.
not what the scientists. That's not what the scientists did. That's not what the scientists intended to do. And once the results were compiled, that was not the conclusion they came to.
I agree with you. I'm not
But you took that same study, Mr. Fantastic, that you didn't do, and you came to the public and you started using this stat to go along with your narrative about how bad black women are.
Okay, great. Now, Shad. Now, why do we never Hamp? You got a promo of a woman that don't even deal with men saying niggas' dicks be dirty. Do you not?
Yeah.
All right.
What did I do? What did I do? What I said? What did I do? What I said? Though?
Everything, brother. It has everything to do with it, and no one ever challenges this. When they say black men are sexually irresponsible and black men have the highest STD rates and all this other shit, do we fight the shit? No. Niggas need to fucking wrap and strap up. Y'all say it all the time, right? Niggas overrepresent in certain STDs. The problem is the context they'll never get is because we're dealing with the most sexually irresponsible women in the fucking country. So of course,
he agreeing with me.
Can I say this?
Wait.
All right. This is what we gotta do. Condense the point.
So, Shad, if you just agree with that, right? Yeah. You just agree with that premise?
Hamp, he agrees with what I said his intent was. I don't have no argument. He agreed with me.
Can I say this, Hamp?
But hold on, I need you. So hold on. If I can agree with you, I need you just said something. So I need you to re-acknowledge what you just said.
So I'm gonna say it again. The intent of the researchers is different from the intent. Okay, cool. So we don't have an argument. If you trying to get back, you trying to get back for the narrative that will put on black men. I get it.
It's not a narrative. It's the numbers. So what I'm saying is, Shad, and I never fight the numbers, and you just admitted it. So what?
We do fight the numbers.
Let me say the example.
Okay, so let me just simplify it, right? Essentially, Mr. Fantastic saying, okay, yes, whatever the stat is, based on the numbers, it is true about black men. However, what is not talked about is the fact that it's true because of who they are correlated with or related to or are women.
Causation. You can't deny
the cause of black men being overrepresented in those poor stats is because of the women's conduct.
Hold on. Okay. Clearly.
That's what he's saying. Shad, what do you think about that thought? And then CJ, you can go, and then I want to see what Bino and Corn been thinking as they've been sitting here for 45 minutes.
Ask the question again based off what?
Come on, bro.
He's saying that he looked at the stats, right? So niggas is burning because the women's conduct is diabolical. And the women we are associated with have the worst behavior in terms of promiscuity.
Okay, that's a fair hypothesis.
Oh,
that's fair.
What are we arguing? What are we arguing? We just won the debate.
I just said what the issue is. The intent of the study. You can't come to that conclusion. You have to do further research. You can't just use it.
Shad, you literally just did it. So
I didn't do it. I said it's a hypothesis. You said it's a conclusion. That's not the same thing.
So
oh my God. Please.
Go ahead, CJ. Go ahead, CJ.
This shit is dumb. People that take the okay, Shaq shoot free throws. People who take the stats don't have a fucking intent. They're not trying to prove that shit.
Free throws. It's not the same thing.
Finish. Please let me finish.
It's not the same thing.
See him? Please let this nigga shut up. When the people who take
Talk
the stats,
talk regular, bro. You have to be quiet. Talk regular,
bro.
CJ, let's keep the verbiage we use towards each other on high.
All right, yes, sir.
And I apologize. I should have asked him to be quiet early. That's my fault.
So, Shaq shoot free throws. The people who take the stats don't have intent. They're not trying to prove Shaq suck at free throws. But the people who read the stats can say, "Hey, Shaq only shoot 40% at free throws. He suck at free throws." Now you can say, "Well, that wasn't the intent of the statisticians when they made the stat." We know that wasn't their fucking intention. They were just they were just writing the fucking stat down. They were just taking the stat. He missed this one, he made this one. He missed this one, he made this one. He missed this one, he made this one. And the shit read 40%. And the niggas that look at it, other niggas that didn't take the stat, that didn't fucking write the stats, they look at it and interpret the stats. Like the fucking shit say, what are stats used for? Interpreting shit. They interpret it and they say, this nigga suck at free throws. So we can look at the stats that the people made, the black women.
Every single free throw, Shaq, every shot was recorded.
Thank you. By your statistician.
No. What I'm saying is every single shot, free throw Shaq has ever shot has been recorded. So you can accurately 100% say he sucked at free throws.
So Bino, hold on, Bino. So see, I got you. So Bino, what you can still do though, Bino, is you could have started a trend, right? So you could still look at Shaq's free throws from his first 3 years, right? And they're going to you can project early on that, hey, this motherfucker right here is never going to jump from fucking 40% to even a 60% free throw shooter, bro. It's never going to happen.
I get that, but as I'm listening to y'all, I like for the particular herpes thing, right? Like the reason why I ain't never really like standing on stats, especially when I hear it through conversation, is I can understand that stats can get misconstrued through misrepresentation, through missing verbiage, all types of shit, especially at a mass. Y'all do it. Y'all search it, right? I know I don't. So I really ain't going to stand on it because, for example, with this 50% of black women having herpes, right? That's missing verbiage. We got through that. Now it's 50% of black women that was tested. Boom. All right, we got through it. So then we go to 50% of black women that got tested means that it's probably 50% of black women because we can extrapolate. But then we get to 2,400 from the ages of 14 or 49 was tested, and 50% of that had herpes. So to me, it's like, how can we take 1,200 and say that means 11 million got herpes? Like, that's a far reach. As I look at it with open mind, I can say the more you test, yeah, it's a possibility that number could be that, but that's a far reach. But I'm thinking like the more you test, I'm thinking like the bigger possibility is that number will go drastically down. Yeah, so just like, hold on, fantastic, just like the black men statistics, we walk that down, right? The mindset is a lot of black men in jail, in prison. We walk that down. It's very less, right? And then we walk down. We walk down. All these black men is broke. We realize that there ain't a lot of black men broke, right? That's all missing verbiage with them stats too.
Well, those stats with this. Those stats were never said. That's what I'm saying. That now that's rhetoric. What you're talking about is fighting rhetoric. Those were never
for sure. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, let him finish his thought because he's been just sitting here, so he just going through the information that he heard.
Yeah. So in particular, like I don't see how we can necessarily stand on and say, hey, that means about 50% of black women got herpes because 1,100 out of 2,400, 1,200 of them had it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see that's a far reach. Fantastic.
It's not. So Bino, let's go back to Bino. Do you know why? You remember?
Not too far though. Let's keep it concise as possible.
So you remember COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember why we had the highest rate, one of the highest rates, because we tested the most. So what you're saying is science goes against science. If something trends up, more likely than not, Bino is going to continue trending up. The more people you test. When we always talk
Right,
about
but
the
I'm just
36.
talking about the accuracy and being able to stand and run with that stat. We said 5%, right? Is more so. So it was like
it's still what you're saying. I'm going by what you said, the parameters you gave, and it's a false parameter. The more people you test, the more positive you're going to have for the pot that's already positive and astronomical or abnormally high compared to other groups. All right. So, like you said, with a small sample size, you had an overrepresentation. If you tested more people, it will be even higher. So let me say this, okay? It may not be 50. I don't know what. It may not be 50%. I don't know why y'all wasn't the same thing. I said it's still a trend, Bino. It's a trend regardless. So the trend is going to keep going in the same direction. The more people you test. So if y'all are saying it wasn't, my question is still going to be, what is the number? We can make an educated. All this shit is educated guesses, bro. All right, I'll say it's not 50%, but I'll tell you this: it's a whole lot closer to 50 than it is to 1.
Okay. Corn.
From 14 to 49 on this particular stat, from 14 to 49, you can say that you really think that number is going to continue to go up from 14 years old to 49.
It's math and science, Bino. Bino, it's literally math and science. Just like I gave you
From 2,400 to 22 million.
Yes, Bino. And it wouldn't be 22 million because, like you say, it will be more so around 11 because we're talking about adult. More likely than not, the children, even though we did the babies thing, there'd be very small percentage of children, right? Adolescents with it. And more likely than not, they will be born with it other than contracting it in the other way, right?
So then we had to do adults, then we had to take the kids out of it because if you keep testing.
But he said 11 million or something like that, 15 million.
The number. So it would be 11 million, not the whole 22.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I ain't gonna lie. I was thinking about what you were saying. Like I'm thinking about even just from just our DNA, and like people are taking more blood samples now than they did back in the 1900s or whatever. So I can definitely understand that mindset. Okay, yeah. Because even thinking about just your DNA, we think about the ancestry.com, for instance. They say, oh, how can you figure out where somebody is from their blood and this and that? But I guess the more they test people in certain places, they can put things together and be like, okay. But I've noticed over the years, your percentage can change because they're testing more people, so that kind of fluctuates a little bit. So that makes sense what you're saying. So that actually makes sense with both of y'all saying. Shad too. It makes sense with both of y'all saying. Y'all both saying similar things. Y'all did saying in different ways. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, so I think Corn, one of the things that is argued is like CJ said, they may be compiling the stats about Shaq can't shoot free throws, so they know that it makes more sense.
Different to me because you.
Well, let me
one person.
Well, this is the part, right? Just in terms of being an analogy, they're saying it makes more sense for us to follow him because of how unlikely he is to make a free throw. That's what they're doing the research for.
Right.
Consumers, once they release the information, are going to take that information and conclude what they will with it. Right. Shaq sucks at free throws, and when they release that information, you don't get to control how people use it, whether it be disingenuous, accurate. Because if I say he sucks at free throws, that's true, even if that wasn't their intention for giving me the information.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, what do you think about all you've heard regarding the potential that percentage? And I think we can agree it's not 50%, even because of the demographic that was tested, right? There's so many women outside of that demographic, right? From 45 and up, you know. But do you feel alarmed if you hear that the black women that were tested throughout the country had that level of herpes in this study or in this survey, or in this compilation of data?
So you asked me,
what does that make you think as you moving in the earth when you was like outside?
Shit, you need to get tested before you have sex. Be like, yeah, we both gonna get tested. You get tested and I get tested, then we can figure thing out in between. But that's,
so you think it's
makes you definitely be more precautious of you know, how you move and you know.
Okay. And I think that level of awareness is acceptable. You're saying they tested women throughout the country, although it was 2,000 from different parts of the country. There's a alarming representation since we more than likely mess with black women.
Right.
So now I'm going to be cognizant, which I need to see that in my chart.
You have more of a chance to get exposed to it versus before would take 20 years ago. Yeah.
Then how you spread that 2,000 out across the country? How they spread it out? That's another question I would have.
Yeah,
what amount of what they spread it out weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's odd that they pull 2,500 if they had that many samples from all over the country, right? I can agree with that.
Real quick,
I'm trying to say something first.
Yeah. You know why that matters, Hamp? I think it goes back to Arthur and the way scientific publications work. Based on the journal that you're subscribed to, they have a narrative because they're really focused on what they're focused on. And literally, there's a way based on the author, the primary author, they've been a master of study in said field for a while. But even those authors that are scientifically proven, they're pushing towards something that they want. There's a reason why they're conveying it to other scientists, and it's kind of like a building process. I don't think that you're wrong for how you interpret it, but how you then spread it and communicate it to people that don't know these things is where it can get dangerous. Does that make sense?
That's what we need to talk about. That's that after I read the super chat.
Yeah.
That after I read these super chats, that's what we need to talk about.
That's it.
Go ahead, and I give Arnold a final, this not the final thought on this, but just the data itself. Like, you know what I mean? Go ahead, CJ.
I know you said it in passing and you really didn't mean anything by it. I don't think. But you said the people who took the stats were trying to say that we're taking that because Shaq suck at free throws. No, the people that took the stats didn't have no intention. They just write down how many free throws get shot and how many he misses. Other coaches use that data to interpret, hey, we're going to foul him because he suck at free throws. But the people that wrote it didn't have no intention at all. They just need to keep the data somewhere. They need to write this data down to store it. Go ahead.
Oh no! Oh, you're saying the person who's recording?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I see. I see.
Now watch how this is all together, right? So if I'm a PhD in epidemiology and I'm trying to get grant funding to actually fund my research project for, let's say, 40 million in HSV, what I'm going to do is go find data that will prop up when I go to the scientific community saying I'm published in said area. And because I can show you a concentration of people that need it, you need to give me 40 million, because that's how this actually works in research. I'm leveraging what I can find to get the results I want. Once it gets to you, do what you want to with it, but I'm going to literally prop up what I'm presenting to you to get to my end goal, not yours. I don't care what you think about it, because in the scientific world, the more publications you have, that adds to literally three things. It adds to how qualified you are amongst your community. It adds to how much money that the government will give you to continue your research. And it also makes your word more bond. But if my narrative is my intention before I even start writing shit and I'm a PhD, I get more money based on the results I want to find.
But why herpes? Why herpes then?
Yeah, but you don't know.
Because you're an epidemiologist. If you look up the primary, that's why. But my bad, I don't want to get lost in that.
This is because this is the key point, right, CJ? So yeah, you're right. A coach asks for numbers, right? He may not be recording them, right? But he's the author, so to speak, right? He's the scientist. I need you guys to record these numbers because he's thinking about something, right? And so now he says, oh, conclusion based on the numbers I asked you guys for that you gave me is to foul him at this time, this date, because he's more likely to miss the free throw, and why give him the free shot, right? And so what you saw in the results of, I'm talking about the coach itself, right? Now you can say Shaq sucks, right? He's saying I need to foul him because it's likely that he's going to miss the free throw, right?
Now, the coach is saying
no, but right? Because maybe that's how coaches talk, right? But I'm trying to play in the analogy, right? I'm not trying to dismiss it. So when we pulled up the the study that Mr. Fantastic pulled, you notice in the results it said what? $28 million that this cost us. So they were pulling this to see what are the cost of said research. So now if I'm doing that research, I say you give me 10 million, I save you 5 million. That's all. Like their intent is there, but what you do with the data is what you do. You know what I'm saying? I think that's fair.
I gotta disagree with this.
Okay, go ahead. Make it quick, and then we'll gotta go to Arnold, and we'll be done.
Yeah, we're talking medical data, bro. Again, no, you're not running to them and say we're gonna do it. It's something that you have a national study that's ongoing. Period. Even though you guys want to use the NSAID shit, so on and so forth, we all know when your ass motherfucking come up positive for any STD, it's recorded. The same way Shaq free throws is any positive. Hamp, you're in Houston, right?
Yes.
What's the big deal going on in Houston right now that everybody talking about?
What is it?
High HIV rates, Hamp.
Oh yeah.
Houston has exponentially fucking high. Did you think they went out? Hey, I think you got AIDS. Come here. No, motherfuckers go in, HAMP. They get their fucking routine test or whatever. They fucking their regular schedule or non-scheduled motherfucking.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're
and
saying.
then you get the information.
So this isn't.
The money is already there. This
Okay.
is made up to hunt black women.
I see. This isn't curated.
Yes.
Okay, I got one retort to that, and I'm gonna let it go. The primary author on this study is Geraldine McQuillan. Geraldine McQuillan has 104 publications. Out of those publications, there's been 14,000 reads and 25,000 citations. The reason why that's important is when you look down her publications, she has been going down this rabbit hole of HSV prior to the results. But in most of these studies I've just been did a casual search of, it always mentions money. Why? Because that's her specialty. That's where she get a paper from. So if I'm gonna get paid based on reporting how many HSV cases are out here, I'm gonna do it 10 different ways to keep getting paper. That's how the scientific world actually works when you're research based. Most of these articles y'all pull from, they are research, scholarly, peer-reviewed articles, but it's based in research and how much money you can get to leverage your research further.
Arnold, go. What you got?
It was on CJ.
No, he done. Him and Mr. Fantastic are done.
Yeah, that's everything, bro. That's literally
I'm about to drop them two in the back.
Whoop they ass. That's what
I just want to hear what you got to say on this, because I have another question built right on this premise, so we're not going far from it. You got anything you want to add? God damn it! Next dark skinned nigga that talk going in the back. God damn it!
They said I wasn't dark skinned, so I'm good.
You dark skinned today.
My shock analogy killed him.
Go ahead, Arnold.
So the issue is that the other side in this conversation is going to deflect from any stat, right? There will be no stat that they will be satisfied with. So we don't like the stats. The stats don't mean nothing, right? Paralysis by analysis. Stop thinking about it so much. Just go live your life and bump your head. The numbers mean something because you have information that you can try to act on. I don't believe the herpes stat, right? But it's information. I'm not barebacking after hearing that. I'm not getting excited to go barebacking, right? So I know y'all not about to say, oh, if it was one city and they had a 50% stat, y'all about to go in there and go knee deep barebacking, right? But y'all gonna say you can't come to that conclusion. Well, what would you do? Strap up.
Oh, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money? Bullshit. I see you shining, nigga. I can smell a motherfucker with money. Even Ray Charles can see you got money.
Salute the daily in the building. I had to turn off my damn soundboard, man. Shit like that. Appreciate you, man. Oh, I didn't even see the second part. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it, bro. Do I still got that shit? Hold on. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel.
Get in the zone. Auto Zone.
Ezekiel in the building. Salute. Hold on, let me turn this back on, man. Zeke, I appreciate you for gifting 1 membership, man. Whoever got blessed with it, please maintain it and say thank you. Black King in the building. Salute, my G. Gifted 5. This might be risky memberships, man. Whoever got blessed with it, please maintain it. And fit. DC Slim with the $2 said this episode about to be fucking great. Male feminists with the $2. Women are more vulnerable to STDs than men. Dre on the grind with the $2. Personally, I don't care about the why, but what is. The male feminists with the $2 is black men lead men in STD cases. They're giving it to black women. Unc B streaming with the $5 says, if 2,400 random women were in the study and half had herpes, is it really far-fetched to think 50% or at least 40 to 30% for sure of all have the herpy derp? Nah, bro. But like Arnold said, what are you going to do once you know that information, right? August with the $10 says, instead of facing the facts, they fight any study that exposes black women cause feelings over accountability. Women, you see life through a feminine lens. Yeah, I'm not doing a good job with that one. The male feminist with the $2 says black women need to sue for defamation.
They need to sue that nigga for that turtleneck.
Unc B streamer with the 10 says straight twitching, coochie itching. Cali Bev with the 10 says who is more likely to use pull-up testing trucks, meaning the data wasn't pulled from random medical records. Rather, it's aimed towards a certain demographic, the poor. August with the $10. You want to respond to this real quick?
Yeah, there are more poor white women than black women by 5 times more. So that literally makes your argument even worse. It literally still mans the point that black women are even higher because there's a higher representation of poor white people than black. Thank you, Callie Bell, for helping our side.
August Moore with the 10 ounces. Correlation, not causation, but consistent patterns still point to uncomfortable truths. You don't need the data to be perfect. If the pattern keeps showing up, maybe it's not the study that is the problem. Aaron with the $2 is my nigga in the shiesty right, and I don't know the topic. Gabe with the $5 is grown men have gathered midweek to discuss black women STDs, coochie stats. Welcome to the internet. It's actually a pretty substantive conversation. It's actually it's less about the stat, more about the breakdown and then the application of the stat, right?
Can I say
so it's actually pretty substantive.
Hey,
and he came to listen, and this nigga came to listen to us talk about coochie itching, Hamp, and the man the fucking day. What's wrong with this nigga, Hamp?
So shout out to him, man. Appreciate you, Gabe, brother, for watching talk about this and paying money for the, for our wonderful conversations, brother. So we greatly appreciate you, Gabe. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, good point, Gabe. That's a great point, Gabe. Thanks. I didn't even look at it. Son, kids, shout! Oh my damn board ain't on. Is it still?
You know we heard it without the air, and we can't hear you now. I don't think.
Check. Unc B streaming to 2000. A hypothesis usually developed before the experiment. Yeah. Okay.
You hissing now, Hamp?
Hissing now. Yeah, I know what it is. The white school with the $5 says people need to know what the difference between data and metadata is. We be using summarized information rather than reading the abstract. Damn, she sacrificed her grandma. She didn't want to pay that 10. Okay. Gabe A with the $5 says y'all have never used the word extrapolate in your lives until it came to negative black coochie stats. Amazing. Well, that's untrue. Fifi with the $5 says if the sample size is not representative of that population, you can't use it for the entire population. You need a larger sample. Okay. Dre with the $5 says CDC says 48% of black women has herpes. They have data scientists and highly educated polling survey and data analyzers. I think I can trust them.
Yeah.
Gabe with the $5 says these niggas Googling AIing stats on the fly and have never taken a statistics course in their lives. This is not how you do stats, fellas. LOL.
This nigga so dumb. Wait, fantastic. This nigga so dumb. He contributed.
And again, thank you, Gabe, for still being. Hold up. Thank you, Gabe, for still being here, listening to us talk about black women's coochie and paying $15 at this point, brother. But why would you shame? We call this the Henry Ford method, right? Henry Ford said he wasn't a very smart man, but he could pay for them. So if you have data and information already compiled that you can use, brother, I don't know why you would shame that. Okay, Google's not gonna be wrong. So thank you again, brother, for your $15 donation. Now keep them coming and keep watching, brother.
Well, what I would tell Gabe is I'll have you know that I was in AP Calculus. I was also in AP US History and AP English. I went to school with 3 credits, dickhead. And I took stats, statistics, and managerial accounting. Okay?
And I took stats, nigga.
And I play football too, so maybe that might have erased all of it. But nevertheless, the male feminist with the $2 says, so did 40 to 50% of y'all body counts have HSV too? No, sir.
Not.
Aaron with the $2 says, Shaw gonna find a way to stick up for the women. I don't know if
scientists don't have gender. I know these niggas got amoeba brains, so they only understand like men versus women. I actually work in science. It ain't about picking a side cornball. It's having a conversation. Ain't no side goofy.
it's not. It's much less.
Like these niggas stay stuck. These niggas stuck in this shit. It's goofy, bro.
Budokai Master. Sorry, I think I said it right. I don't know that many Chinamen. But the $5 says, "Great show, Hamp, Mr. Fantastic." Great show, Hamp, Mr. Fantastic. I'm 5'8", but I got warehouse employee biceps though. Am I allowed to rock the BABG? Please respond.
Of course, brother. Hey, man, I greatly appreciate you, brother. Even though you got Budokai now, I imagine that you're a brother. So, hey, man, even non-brothers are allowed. We all big in our own special way, brothers. It ain't always just about size. Pause. Okay. So, but brother, you say you got them motherfucking biceps, brother. I feel you. Shout out to the big bicep game, man. Hey, but we don't do smalls though. Don't order no small, brother. That small is not an option. Grow into it.
Hakeem with the $5 says, "Oh niggas, please stop interrupting each other so we can understand the point each man is trying to convey fully." Fifi with the $2 says, "FYI, strapping up doesn't stop herpes transmission." Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. So we've been talking over the intent, right, ad nauseum in terms of the studies, the results, the conclusions, and etc. Right? Now, I've heard this kind of said. I wish Sean was here too. But the intent matters, no?
It should.
And if you want to paint a picture, narrative, right, you have an intent and agenda, right, to expose a thing. We understand what marketing is. Rioting is marketing, right? But it doesn't generally move the needle into what you're trying to change, right? You then need legislation. You need exact efforts, right? But when you protest, riot, that's marketing for what the issue is, right? So what's the intent? And then is there a solution to follow? Or is the solution inconsequential and doesn't matter at all? Where are we at with it?
Right. So if these stats would have came from a manosphere connected think tank, okay, yes, I'll buy it. I wouldn't be here arguing with you, right? Because they're gonna go and say, okay, this is the where the girls that tested, we're gonna pull those and make that our sample size. We're gonna go look in this population that we already know, right? There's already a bias there. We already know what we're gonna find, and we're gonna get the stats to prove it, right? And then bring it out and then make black women look bad. Right? I understand that part. But if we're saying that we got just raw stats from a unnamed white person, so you're saying that they want money for herpes, is it the reader's fault that just so happened that black women had a high percentage of herpes positive tests? Whose fault is that? So if those numbers weren't there, they wouldn't be there. That's the issue is that those numbers are there. So I'm saying that what can we say about those numbers? Because I guess I've been trying to get that from y'all this whole time because y'all act like the stat. Oh, the stat is bad. The stat is bad. What can you glean from the stat?
I said it when I started off. I guess I don't know if it's because you don't want to understand what I said or you keep missing on and you keep repeating the same thing. You can't come to conclusions. So what I'm saying is you can't use that stat to say because of this, and I'm not saying y'all said it, but because of this, women are whores and they're promiscuous. You can't use.
I asked you a question.
What you can infer, Arnold, what you can do, you can start to ask questions. That's at best. That's what you can do. You can start to ask questions, and then guess what you do, Arnold? You do additional research to either disprove what you think or prove it. But you got to keep working. It's not going to come to a conclusion. It could be the reason why that number was so high because that particular cohort, they don't have access to proper medical care. Because as somebody mentioned in the super chat, you can pass herpes even using protection.
So what would be the question?
That context wasn't part. That context wasn't a part of this conversation, nor was that context a part of the actual study we're talking about.
Right, so I'm saying that. No, hold up, fantastic. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on. Let Arnold go. Let Arnold go.
The only thing we can do with this stat is to figure out what we're going to study next.
No, you cannot. I just said. I feel like I'm repeating myself. You can infer. You can infer. You can infer.
Okay.
You can ask questions. You can also make assumptions too for the sake of conversation like we're doing now, but you can't come to any conclusion based on this particular study.
You telling me what I can't do with the stats?
Yeah, so he said you can infer, but it's not conclusive that this is a fact, right? But you can make an inference on the information that you have. Now, what I'm asking is, we make an inference, right? What's next? What is the advice, right? What is your recommendation? Does it bring us to any type of solution that's going to benefit, right? Now, Arnold, you specifically, right? I don't think your goal is for people to be dating outside their race and etc. Right? I think you can correct me that you're a proponent of your people, right? Absolutely. And relationships and families and marriage, even with all the shit that you know. So when you have this information, what do you do with it?
Right. I'm saying that you act upon that information, right? You change the way you move.
Okay.
Right? Layman use science. Somebody who at a university doing the work, bring the information down to the layman, right? I'm the middleman, right? What I did for 10 years, I was the middleman. Information come in to the county government, somebody got to read it, and somebody got to be able to make a publication to make sure that the homies, right, understand what that means. Hey, it's a spike in this right here. Stay away. Make sure you wrap it up. We sending condoms your way. Right at the food drive, it's condoms there now. Right at the high school game, they got a health canopy, right, from the DHS Health Services with condoms because it's a problem in that neighborhood. So every time it's a football game, every time it's a community event, we gotta be there to make sure people know this. Well, so I guess I'm not in agreement with the part about I think that this means 50%. My problem with the conversation was you were saying that this was useless information.
Nobody said that, bro. That hasn't been said that one time.
Okay, so I apologize. The tone is that, oh, you can't use these stats for anything. Right? It was laughable, right? So for you, for Sean, those numbers, anytime we bring up a stat, you act like it's laughable because it's not perfect. Right? We know that it's not a 100% for sure that every other black woman is going to have STDs. We understand that.
Hey, I don't know if Arnold doing this on purpose or what, because he keeps repeating the same thing even after I clarified it. So my initial issue was with the way Mr. Fantastic communicated the stat. I said that explicitly when he first said it. Now, see, so imagine the first time he said it, and we had this conversation. We wouldn't even have to be doing this shit. The first time that stat was communicated to the public, to the 40,000 people that watch HAMP's platform, it was said 50%. Can I finish? It was said that 50%. It was said that 50% of black women have herpes. It was said that way.
Arnold's okay with it.
That was my initial issue.
Arnold would have been pushing back if he wasn't okay. So Arnold is talking to Shad, so he kind of, I know Arnold. He allowed the interjection. He would have pushed back vehemently.
He's got a strong mic, so the nigga, it's hard to take it back.
No, Arnold would have, but I don't want to have a conversation about the conversation. Let me do my job.
Yeah. So just context.
Hold on, Mr. Fantastic, because I want to make sure that Arnold responds, because Arnold allow him to interject. They going back and forth.
Yeah. So I understand it. So what happens is that if you don't like the way that Fantastic used the stat, you go at the stat. And what I'm here to do is to defend the numbers, right? That these are real numbers. Right. So so outside of Fantastic, these numbers exist. You don't like how he uses them, but while you're getting to Fantastic, you're stepping over, right, and trampling on the numbers. So why my retort be, oh, that you don't think that the numbers are even good numbers to even use for anything? Because that's what I'm hearing when y'all talk about the numbers.
Okay. And so can I just, before Shad responds, right? Bro, I didn't use this fucking insane shit y'all using. Okay. I used the CDC study that somebody just said the fucking super chat and told you. So it's not y'all. So now you're couching it completely, totally wrong. If your counter to mine to disprove my shit would have been this insane shit, it's a disingenuous argument because that's the smallest sample size. The information I used would have been the 48 to 50% came from the CDC, bro, that we know for a fact is a national thing, ongoing, running, pooled, not this particular shit here. Mine is based off the CDC. So
Mine too.
let's first get that correct.
Mine too.
Well,
It was
let me
a hang study.
let me baseline it. Let me Shaw, Mr. Fantastic, let me baseline it. This is what happened, point blank period. Mr. Fantastic told me the stat. I was floored by it, frankly. And I didn't even do much questioning, which could be a flaw of the fact that I was taken aback. Right? The next show came, right? The stat came up again. Shad hit the link, and then they started talking about how that is the sample size doesn't cover all black women, not even close, right? But you can extrapolate based on, different findings and etc., in which they agreed upon. Right? Mr. Fantastic did say, okay, yeah, it's not 50% emphatically, right? And then we took these numbers and saying this is the conduct of most women. So they baselined it. It wasn't like a huge blow up when they went back and forth about the shit. And there was agreement upon the initial disagreement, after it was all said and done. So just to clear that, right? We don't have to belabor that point. But so is it just knowledge? That's what I'm asking. Is it just knowledge? Are we just trying to afford people, or more specifically men, knowledge? And then we're saying what you do with that knowledge is what you do. And then I wonder, if we leave people to their own devices, what happens?
Without saying anything in the first place, they're ignorant and they operate the same way they're operating. So HAMP, like I said, it's only
after
a problem.
With the information. With the information.
Well, I'm saying, like, so for instance, you make sure that they are not blind, right?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Now you give them information, right? Are we helping them conclude? Or are we saying, here's what you need to know, and what you do with that information is what you do? Is that the goal?
I don't control another man's penis pause, right? So me making people aware, like you said, HAMP, you never even heard of it. You didn't even know, right? So imagine how many people don't, and you do this, you know what I mean? This is your content, right? So what I'm saying is a lot of people aren't aware purposely because the narrative, now I know I just got to put this in here to say it. The narrative is black men are the problem. The straight black men are the problem. Straight black men are the sexually irresponsible group. But if you go and look at the stats and the data, this is the reason why women hate stats and data. It unveils a huge issue and problem, and it's never pushed back on the other side. Niggas got dirty dicks. Everybody just live with it, right? And I don't argue with either. Niggas do got dirty dicks. But again, causation and correlation is you're going to have dirty dicks. Just like the same argument. Y'all don't want to be married. Well, that's not true. Black men can't have a high marriage rate when you're connected to the women that have the lowest marriage rate. And there are more black men married than black women. So although Shad is saying, I understand what he's saying from the scientific principle, bro, you keep saying and going by the verbiage, going by the exact verbiage in science, you are correct. You can't come to a conclusion, but inference and conclusion, healthy, educated guess, brother, in layman's terms, it's the same thing. So you are exactly right. If we're talking strictly scientific within the basis of science, you can't come to a conclusion, but literally people come to conclusions from stats every fucking day, Shad. All right, that's literally what we do because we don't speak in scientific terms.
And to answer your question,
let
me answer your question.
Okay.
So with Nick, we don't just say that. We just don't give the information. We usually give advice with the information. Hey, even though condoms don't protect you from. Hold on, let me finish. God damn.
Who's we?
Can you control your fucking self?
Well, hold on, Shad. So he's saying I would assume Mr. Fantastic or whomever else agrees with his ideology. Let's go. Go ahead, CJ.
So
you can question as soon as he's done.
If you say women have more STD, you say y'all niggas probably should strap up, or y'all niggas probably shouldn't be fucking with them hoes in Houston because they got a high HIV rate. When you go to Houston, you probably shouldn't fuck them hoes. Like common sense, it's not just the knowledge by itself; it's advice with the knowledge. But the knowledge is good to have, and by itself as well. The knowledge is good to have.
I guess I'm trying to figure out, when does CJ give people advice? But I'm gonna just say this: I'm cool with the criticism. I said at the beginning, I understand in order to be in certain communities and spaces, you gotta acquiesce to how they communicate. But when I go to work and when I deal with those people, I gotta remember scientific integrity and how we communicate stats. I'm not going to change that because y'all don't like it, and it means because I'm doing it. Because I would do the same thing, Mr. Fantastic, if I was on a panel and women were using stats in the same way to disparage black men. I would have the same. I would have the same approach. And there aren't women in this space doing that, Mr. Fantastic. So we have the conversation now. When one comes up, then you tell me I won't. You making a face, but you don't have an example.
But I do have several examples now, Sean. I can't say you were there,
Me,
brother.
of me letting a woman use stats misleadingly.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you were present during the conversation and the actual, false information being put out there about black men being sexually irresponsible, but HAMP has had plenty of them. Plenty. He has a literally POV. I'm not black. That's what I'm saying. I'm not accusing or anything, but I'm saying HAMP literally does the women's POV every Tuesday, right, HAMP? Every Tuesday night?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this has been said several times, brother. I've literally, when I first started coming around, would have these conversations with those women back and forth, and the whole panel is women, right? So what? And I know you weren't here then. This is way long time ago. But what I'm saying is, you have plenty of opportunity anytime from the to do so.
So one thing I've seen, right? The reason why I think I believe Sean doing what he's saying is simply because when we had a conversation about an opinion about black men being cowards, he was emphatically against that shit. Right, in real time, and you was there, Miss Fantastic. So you know what I mean. And I know that's not a stat, but I'm just saying.
I don't doubt the brother's integrity or anything. That's why I explained it the way I explained. I believe him in saying it. Like
you're saying, there's been opportunity. You can't confirm that he was there to voice his opinion. Yeah.
And he's a subject matter expert. I'm giving him his credit for that, and that's why I'm understanding the way he's coming from. So I'm saying though, like you said, we're not on a job. We're talking amongst each other. Everybody don't have a master's in what you have the master's in, brother. So that's what I'm saying. So when we change it over to layman's terms, and I agree with you, I understand that, but go ahead.
Yeah. So this one thing, right? Corn, you weren't here for this. I heard Bino talking about it. I was in and out, right? Pause. Unlike y'all niggas, I was working out, but I ain't gonna bring that shit up no more.
We every day. Don't play with me.
I'll play the video and then niggas would be quiet. Just chill. So
He still got that video from 2012. Nigga, we not worried about that video from 2012, motherfucker.
Right. So this is the thing, right? Because we hear this statistic, right? Even Corn said, yo, I'm moving different if I'm outside, right? I'm not gonna be gun-ho and all that, except for the fact that we can't overcome our biological imperative, right? And we make sure that we let people know the biological imperative is gonna be the biological imperative. That gives me a little bit of cause for pause. And then there was one thing I heard. Yeah, you about to go. You about to get the floor, beloved. He said, TJ was saying, look how they dress. You can't expect me not to want no pussy. I said, good God almighty. That Lululemon got this nigga going crazy. But then we got the stat that say, yo, they burning left and right. They got herpes like Oprah was handing this shit out. You heard? So I'm just trying to understand, like, the reconciliation just doesn't seem to be there. What you think, Bino? Talk your shit. Because I heard you say, I was listening halfway in and out. I'm going to wait till later.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, to me, it's like, if we're going to go with the 50% of black women, right? We're going to go with this. And they got herpes or whatever, STDs, whatever. Mm-hmm. But in the same sense, say we can't overcome our biological imperative. My reconciliation is like, yo, discipline. They hate the discipline talk because of our biological imperative. But I'm like this, like, we go to the condom sets. Like, we being honest, dudes that experience as women, what's one of our weakest decision making we got in life? To me, and y'all can disagree, is in the moment, when you about to have that sexual act with that woman. Dudes already do damn near anything to try to get the pussy. So when any moment they about to get it, they'll listen to damn near anything she say in that moment. So if we're going to say we understand that it takes one time to catch an STD, right? So that's for one. So two, if a woman is having sex repeatedly, consistently, that probability of having an STD is even higher. We got these numbers. You know what I mean? So especially when you dealing with a hoe, why would you? And we talking about condom. Why would you? Like we can say that condoms been around. We've been new to use condoms. All of us in our 30s and pushing 40s. We've been new to use condoms for this purpose. So why is it still happening? Because dudes ain't using no condoms. Let's be real. Especially in that moment. If a shorty tell a dude, I'm allergic to a joint. Especially for the dudes that don't get access, by the way, fantastic. You gonna really think in that moment they gonna be like, nah, and walk away or still put a strap on? They not. Dudes ain't asking for my charts. People ain't having the discipline enough in the because that's patience. Discipline comes with patience, vetting, and all that. They ain't doing that to even talk to the shorty enough to say, hey, let's go get tested before we rock. A hoe definitely ain't gonna wait around for you to do that. So why even still mess with her? Why? Because of our biological imperative that we can't overcome. We can be disciplined in everything else, but we can't be disciplined enough to cut the hoes off and not even risk ourselves to having babies by hoes, STDs by hoes, and all that. Like that don't make sense to me. Like we can't have that argument, but still say we got to go with our biological imperative, and we can't have no discipline behind that biological imperative. It don't connect to me. I mean, that's all I got. Y'all can't rebuttal. You know, I'll be in and out. I don't talk long forever.
Yeah, so the solution would be to get tested before you have sex. I'm saying that's where I'm comfortable with that.
So that's a part of discipline, right?
Yeah,
Because all that takes time, right? When you meet a shorty, you get to know a shorty, you got to talk to the shorty, then y'all got to go get tested, then the results come back, then y'all said that's all part of discipline. Hoes are not involved in that. Go get tested before you have sex.
Yeah, so like I guess so. Sometimes like what you just got to do if you didn't get tested, you wear the condom, you just got to smash from long range. You don't want to get up close and be making love and stuff. You just got to smash from long range and just get it done like that, so you don't risk the STDs. Shout out to Fifi. You know everybody who doing it.
Like. Let's be real as men when we have sex. How many dudes put protection on when they get oral sex?
That's an insult.
We talking, you know.
That's an insult. That's like, come on, what we talking about, Arnold?
Right, but I'm saying while we the test is in process, you just smash from long range. Don't be rubbing up on no physicality. You know what I'm saying?
Arnold, come on, Arnold, not you.
Range. You know what I'm saying?
Arnold said, "Get a test."
I'm giving solutions to the bandits. I mean, I understand.
These ain't bandit-centric solutions.
I'm talking to the layman, bro. Smash the range until them test scores come back.
You're supposed to get annual exam every year, right? So when you get that,
you just get one every time you get a new shorty, bro. A short.
Yeah, nah, brother. We quarterly over here, brother. At least every 3 months, 3 to 4 months, bro.
I'm saying, I know, yeah, that's fine. I'm saying at least.
No, at the bare minimum, yeah. I think it's. I'm not a medical professional. Anybody that's in the chat, man, y'all. But I think you should be. I know for me, whenever my annual checkup, they automatically test for HIV. But that's HIV. You have to ask for everything else usually. But
I'm a proponent. I'm a proponent of the Bandit bookend testing method. Right. Every new chick, you get a test after her. Right. So you know if it was her or not.
You got to, because if we talking like every 3 months, we not having sex every 3 months out here. Having sex every day, multiple times a day for a lot of people. So even if that's a safety blanket. Of course, we all should have that safety blanket to know what we got going on with ourselves. But that don't take away the shorty that you meet after that 3 month that check you did. You meet her 2 days later and do slip up all the time because that's your weakest moment in decision making. Yeah, especially if she's inspiring you. Especially if she was inspiring you not to do it without protection.
Yeah, I'm saying you got to be your own personal epidemiologist and be able to track it. Yeah, to know who.
But you said it earlier though. I think, like I said, especially at this 40, late 30s, bro, you really shouldn't be out here rolling the dice with your dick, bro. Pause. Right, and you should be. A woman should have her test results too. You feel me? Now again, nothing is 1,000% for certain, but at least then and there, for the most part, right? So, again, me personally, like I said, the chicks I deal with, I've seen they've all just voluntarily, right? And like I said, I keep my shit up. I tell a bitch quick, listen, you heard about that murder? I left some shit I can't get rid of at this point at 40. No, so we not playing those.
And you still classify them as hoes, the ones you coming across? They just safe hoes type shit. Is what you're saying?
I'm not saying it's safe holes. I'm saying the women that I'm me at fucking 41, bro. I'm not gambling with my dick. Like,
Right,
I'm
right.
trying
What
to
I'm saying, I'm asking, would you classify those women as hoes?
Bino, ask him this one question. Well, let me ask this one question, Bino. You can continue. Majority of minority niggas is doing that, Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, minority.
I
The micro,
minority.
minority. The micro, nigga. Micro.
But the thing is, but go ahead, Bino.
So I mean, I just want to ask this question though, like, is those, would you classify those hoes that you speaking of, I mean, the women that you're speaking of as hoes?
Of course.
Just, I mean, if you want to, or not, no, right? Of
course.
So, but dudes is still pushing. Hey, it's our biological imperative. If a hoe give it up, take it. That's what's the bigger narrative that being pushed than yours, Mr. Fantastic.
Listen, man, and you know, you're 1,000% correct. Niggas is gonna get, especially like you said, as scarce as pussy is out here for some dudes, niggas gonna take the opportunity. And hey, I mean, what BG say? Hey, you gotta get it how you live. You motherfucking roll them dice and you crap out, my nigga.
You gotta change how you get it and keep
Hold
living.
on, can I say this?
We
Real
can't
quick,
count.
bro?
We gotta change how you get it and keep living, bro. And sometimes you might gotta minimize that for the long haul, bro.
Niggas want to keep
You
talking.
can't make anyone do that though. But Bino, what I'll say is this, and CJ, you
Just
got
an
it.
advice.
Well, no, it's advice. I agree with the advice, but still, what we know, Bino, the majority of men are taking it because the men have lower STD rates than the women. So, just saying.
All right, so first, men, yes, we want our biological imperative is to procreate, but first it's to survival, nigga. So if niggas know that it's HIV, niggas staying away. Second of all, if niggas gonna do the best they can to protect themselves. But niggas is dogs, feel me? So niggas, if it's just some shit that they can get rid of, chlamydia, just take a pill and get rid of it. Niggas probably still going. Niggas, what's niggas' favorite line? Go in and pray, or put it in God's hands most of the time.
Where they say
Niggas
that
put it
at,
in God's.
CJ?
Niggas put it in God's hand a
What
lot,
niggas?
man. What are we talking about, man? I'm
Go
going
in and
in
pray?
and
I'm not doing this with CJ,
I
man. I
can't
do
think
this
of
too
I
much
can't
with
think.
him, man.
Y'all
I'm not
know
doing
I'm
this
right,
with CJ.
man. Hey, I can't think of the line, but that's how niggas be, man. I'm going there raw and just and
Hey,
wishing
hell,
a prayer, feel me, and let God.
I got an idea for an exercise. Let's
Am
take
I
the
right, Hep, or wrong first?
Oh, niggas, what you said? Say it again.
Niggas
Pray and
going
spray.
raw dog and going like I'm praying just a prayer. Oh,
Nah, bro.
Pray and spray. That's not what's
Niggas
happening.
I'm gonna tell you how they do it. Niggas do it how the Bible actually say do it. In the Bible, because you eat kosher food, you give thanks after you eat. These motherfuckers praying that they ain't dead, nigga. Niggas don't give a fuck before they get in there. Let me stop. I ain't gonna keep telling the truth, Bino. If y'all niggas, I ain't gonna keep doing it. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, I got an
I ain't
exercise
gonna-
I want to do. Let's pick Mr. Fantastic, Bandit, and Shad. How would you all present to the black community this finding? Let's go with it. Let's say it's true. 50% of black women reported having HSV2. How would you all convey that to your audience? Real quick, nothing too long, but like, how would you do it in like 5 sentences? I'm just curious to see the intent of
Man,
what you had
I'm
to say.
starting to question y'all niggas with the fucking things around y'all head, man. You and Cheeky with that shit. I gotta watch y'all. I gotta watch y'all niggas, man.
I'm just curious. Like,
I gotta watch
how would you
y'all
present
niggas,
it?
man.
No. Yeah.
I mean, I've done preventative work. After I finished my master's program, the first thing I did was teen pregnancy prevention. So it's just kind of simple. Like, particularly in the African American community, we have an issue with sexual health. As far as behaviors, knowledge, it's a community thing. It's not a side. That's not how you do prevention work. We're not trying to find the enemy and let the other people sit on the sideline and say it ain't us this time. It's sex requires two people, so the information is going to be directed towards both parties all the time.
Okay.
From the scientific perspective, not for the YouTube content creation. Now, I understand that, but in science, we're not doing. We're talking to everybody.
Dope. I like to hear Fantastic and maybe Bandit attorney, because I don't think they all rep the same side. CJ, we get you last, bro, because you know you talking to the real layman's. But
Hey, I haven't said much this show either. I just want to.
Are you cool? I just want to see how we interpret, like how we can use the same stat and how we present it to the people. I'm just curious to see what it looks like from all the different perspectives.
So So my audience, it would sound like, so boom. Yo, these white folks been studying the STD test. It's been popping up bad for a lot of y'all, right? A lot of the chicks y'all been messing with, right? The study said about 50% of the ones that got tested came back with it. So that might not mean that every other chick got it, right? But it's on the rise, so be on the lookout. So you don't know. So if you don't know, stop acting like you know by going in raw. Make a better decision as a man. So I would assume I'm talking to just men in this conversation.
That's cool. I like that. That's solid, bro. What you got, Miss Fantastic? How you present what you just found? How would you present it?
Oh, I've done it ad nauseum, brother. Better protect your dick. Shout out to motherfucking Wu-Tang Clan. Definitely get test results. And like you say, you can't see herpes, but listen, she only get one hair bump, brother. She got more than one hair bump. She got to put that little puss up and come back. You feel me? You know, regardless of what that test say. So nah, but all seriousness, man, brothers gotta protect yourselves. I say this ad nauseum. I really say this. Like, hey man, this is not what it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. These women are a lot more sexually active, and there's a lot of more stuff running around out here. So you gotta protect yourself, man. You can't. Hey, this is one thing I will never hear, nigga. The bitch burnt me, nigga. Hey, that's your fault.
I'm wrong with it. CJ, let's bring it home. How would you present this stat, bro?
Man, these women are hoes. 50% of them got herpes, bro. Now it might not be every other one, but it's damn near close, man. So protect yourself, brothers. Watch it. Y'all can't be fucking all these ratchet assholes, man. Get some STD testing and and protect yourself, man. Protect yourself, brothers.
That's interesting, Hamp. I think that what I found is that what I thought I would have, you know, like where we would part ways. I think our intentions were pretty pure with how we would like interpret it. So I don't even know if I really got pushback for them. I think that they didn't do any different than we would. And I think that the more we had these combos like this, we'll find we really don't disagree as much as we think we do. Because we always like, okay, regardless as to whether we argue the validity of it, we all gonna send the same message. Whoa, this shit has to change. However, we're gonna get that there, but this is something you might want to consider if you still sexually active, right? So I thought it was pretty cool that was a commonality and how we all might not agree with how we got to the stat. We all kind of delivered it to the people pretty similar. I thought it was pretty dope. Outside of CJ calling them hoes, but
it didn't even socially it work out. What's bad in it, right? Because really, everybody just say be disciplined for the most part. All that requires discipline. The more disciplined you are, the better results you're gonna get with dealing with a woman. And even socially, the more disciplined people are, the less hoes is created, or the less hoes want to stop being hoes. And maybe they go long enough where people don't remember. You know, they meet somebody new in life, and you know what I'm saying? Like there's no bad outcome in it. So
No, they like being hoes, bro. They like
people
being
want to
hoes.
go around being disciplined, but the more disciplined you are, is better. We could talk about condom. That's the very minimum part of the discipline part, because we know that still ain't safe, and we know in reality, what happens in that moment is that shorty can talk you out that condom, especially if you scared for it. So that ain't even the safest bet to say put on the condom. Stay away from it. Period. Don't celebrate it. Period. Fight the biological
Man,
imperative. Train yourself more and more mentally. We say we involved. But when it comes to that, we haven't evolved. That's what we saying. We had a whole argument. We had a whole argument on hand. Dang, CJ, why you do this when I do it? Because I knew what you think you're going. No, you're not doing it. Let me finish. I'm about to close.
That motherfucker.
Yeah, you've been talking the whole show, right? Listen. So when we say we have involved as society, and the women say we have involved as men, but then we having conversations and we say we involved in everything else, but we haven't involved from nature and our biological and imperative to procreate. And we translate that over socially to say if a hoe out here and give us some pussy, we should take it.
Man, we not gonna transcend our biological imperative, brother. Telling niggas to stop fucking women don't work. Niggas like pussy. That shit don't work.
No, we talk about women. You say women. We talking about how we do it. We talking about Shah just mentioned sexual health. He just mentioned how we go about doing it. I think fantastic somebody risking being irresponsible. That's what we talking about. So the end of the change of things that requires discipline.
Let me tell you something. The man will have higher Go ahead, fantastic. You go.
Well, no, I was gonna say Bino again. Like I said, this is the part that it doesn't get talked about, right? And people are saying it in the chat, but falsely, right? Again, the newest HIV cases amongst women are Black women by a lot. Okay, by a lot. These women are dealing with a small percentage of men. They're just like the crime thing. It's a small percentage of men. Just like any usual bad thing, Bino, is a small percentage of men that are the perpetrators, right? These women are sharing those men. Those men are
So what's the
irresponsible.
percentage on men having it?
What do you
Black men having it. What's the percentage on that?
And so straight black men is low. Gay black men and gay men period is like for HIV is over 80+%, bro. Very,
Ain't
very
women
high
having
number.
sex with ain't the hoes having sex with the gay men too?
Yes, exactly. So Bino, thank you, brother. That's what I'm saying. And you
So that
don't
makes the
know.
number larger because we got gay and straight combined now.
Yeah.
If you want to
Well,
look at, if we want to do the stats, that's why I say that's why I don't really like doing the stats because
hold on,
based on verbiage and Reddit, we can flip it all day. You feel me?
So what I'm telling Bino, so this is the thing, right? So what they don't tell you is they don't make differentiations for heterosexual, non-heterosexual when you're doing gonorrhea, syphilis, all this other shit, right? They don't do that, even though they have those men have high STD rates across the board. Okay, them men that deal with men have the highest STD rates, all things. Period.
Right. I know that. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so the only separation gets made for HIV because that one's quote unquote is deadly. You can't die from the other shit. Well, syphilis, I think, whatever stage it is, prolonged syphilis, but for the most part, HIV, right? So that's where you have to make the division and the separation. And you can't just say black men because the straight black men rate is extremely low compared to the gay ones and the black ones.
Okay, so when you transfer all those stats, that's fine. But when we translate it over into everyday life, fantastic. We talking about women having sex with gay men having sex with gay men, straight men having sex with the women that had sex with gay men. It gets crazy.
Well, hold on, brother. It's one false thing you said there. Don't no straight man have sex with no gay man, brother.
I said straight men having sex with women that had sex with gay men.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
Come on, son. You listen clearly all the other time. Don't try to slip that in. I clearly said that. Stop playing with it. But look now, for real though. For real though. You know what I'm saying? It gets crazy. So just the first, I just think that the safest bet ain't to tell them, use a condom. Because once again, I don't want to keep saying it. That's why I'm gonna leave it alone. Once again, we know in reality, in the moment, people ain't doing with the majority ain't doing with fantastic. Anybody in the moments, bro, that condom not getting used, fantastic, and we know this.
But Bino, it is again. I showed that same HAMP. The
Right.
HAMP.
You gonna say it is? Okay, all right.
I showed the stat says it. The stat say
I know abundant of men. You ever not use a condom when you won't ever not now, but ever not how whatever old you is. Have you ever not?
Every nigga done went raw. I'm not saying that, Bino. What I'm
It only
saying
takes one time, fantastic.
But wait,
like I said, there's a risk in that, Bino, right? But just and this, well, I'm not gonna go back to it. Yeah, you're right. Niggas roll the dice every day, Bino. I'm not saying you should do it. It's just human nature. We're literally trying to fight human nature at this point. You could tell people to do the right thing? Yes. Are people gonna do the right thing because it's the right thing to do? Not all the time, Bino.
I'm not telling them to stop human nature, man. I'm just telling them to be more disciplined with their nature, man. That's it. We're supposed to involve. So we involve. We should have some type of more patience, discipline. We more smarter. We more knowledgeable. We know what the hell going on out here. That's all part of that. So I'm not telling them don't not mess with women. I'm not telling them that.
Bino. Yes, you just said
CJ, I'm talking to Fantastic for the moment. And when I finish, you can talk to me. You know what I'm saying? You can have more discipline with your nation, Fantastic, and you're not going to tell me we can't.
Okay, y'all keep telling niggas to wear condoms ain't gonna work. You keep saying if I tell niggas to wear condoms,
I ain't
it's
say
not
that.
gonna
That's
work.
why I
They're
ain't
not
even
gonna
listening
do
to
it.
you. You talking to the rest of us now because I done checked out on you that fast because I ain't say that.
All right, whatever. I'll talk to the audience. He said wearing condoms, they're not gonna use, they're not gonna work, they're not gonna do it. But not having sex, they're not gonna do it. You telling them not to have sex, they're gonna listen to that. But when you tell them not to wear condoms, they're not gonna listen. That makes zero fucking sense.
I guess the one thing that I want to understand, right, is I understand likelihood of what people are to do, right? I understand what people are likely to do, right? But does that mean you change the prescription that you offer because they may not take it? Or do you tell them what's going to benefit them the most, even if they don't take it? Like, do you change your advice just because you don't think they're going to do it? Because if Mr. Fantastic tells me that 50% of women got herpes, and let's say I believe him and don't research them, there's no way I'm going to tell my young boys, yo, Sean, I know you're going to be out here fucking, but be careful. I'll be like, yo, my nigga, stop fucking, my nigga, until that stat change. Because that makes the most sense. right? If the motherfuckers want to not take heed, why would I not give them the advice that makes the most sense? Because now it's on my conscience. Or makes you do an inspection. Fuck you looking for? Don't. Our bandit attorney, don't go deep.
But
you might bump skin.
Wait. If you telling somebody something that you know they're not gonna take heed, why won't you get it
Nah,
information
I
that
don't
you know
know
they
that.
have
I'm saying I'm gonna say, but see, here's the thing. I don't perverse my message for the sake of what I don't think they're gonna do. I'm gonna tell them the thing they should do. That's the thing. See, you feel me? Like if you just like, since he not gonna stop fucking, don't go all the way in, man. Keep inch and a half out so that you don't rub your skin against hers.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie, Hemp. I'll be guilty of that shit. I like
Arnold nodding his head.
Yeah, he about to sleep. But I'll say this, Hemp. What you just said, bro, I'll be guilty of that shit because I like meeting people where they at to try to get them where I want to be. So I think that what you said is spot on. Because if we're talking about this HSV shit, whether it's 50, 40, 30, 10, you can't get rid of that. Ain't no condom gonna stop HSV2 that way. You see what I'm saying? So this is some real serious heavy shit. And to Fantastic's point, when I was just listening, I like how Shad was putting it on the onus of health. But I think in this example, no matter how we analyze a stat, Fantastic had the best analysis of it, which is you have to get tested because no matter prevention, if we walking in the land of, hey, we know you shouldn't do it, but we're already here, right? No amount of condom wearing, discipline, if you're going to stay sexually active, will show you or reveal to you HSV2.
Hey, wait. I got a question.
So I think that even if we're gonna live in the reality of what people are doing, I agree with him. This is what you should not be doing. But if you're gonna do it,
that's not what Hemp said, though. That's the point. He just literally Hemp said the opposite.
No,
Hemp
that's
said,
not
I'm
what
not
Hemp
going to
said.
give you no. Oh my
No.
God, that's my whole fucking point. He
what
was.
Hemp was
Hold
saying
on,
is
Strada. I'll let you
advice.
finish. I'll let you finish. Hemp
No, you
said,
didn't actually cut
I'm
me
not
off in the
gonna-
middle of me
my
talking.
God.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
cut him
I
off.
get it. It bothers you, brother.
What's up?
Oh,
All
I
right.
didn't cut him down. Cut
So
him off.
TJ,
He was
excuse
finished.
me, Strada, just clarify your point
Vince,
because I
got
think he may be.
Yeah. That's why I was saying that's where me and you kind of part ways with how we give advice. I like to meet people where they are. Based on where people are, Fantastic had the most practical advice on HSV2, which is you have to be tested. Because there's no other way you can prevent for this. It's very serious. That's all I was saying. Your advice would be because of it, don't do it at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the advice that's be most effective and keep them the most safe, you know. And when I think about impossibilities, and I was talking to Cheeky, he said this one time. He's like, we got men saying they women. I said, well, I'd be goddamn. Because I'm thinking about shit that was impossible. And then a woman won man of the year, a man won woman of the year twice. Which our country niggas say, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle or some shit, whatever y'all niggas say down there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, whatever y'all say, my bad, y'all.
Stop watching TV, man. Stop watching TV, yo.
All right, can I say this?
But but I'm just thinking we always deem things so improbable or impossible so they can't ever happen. And then we see weird shit happening. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just thinking, like, push it.
Hemp, that's an analogy that's again.
I'm just saying, bro. The nigga was an Olympian, bro, and then won Woman of the Year. Nigga, you can't make this shit up.
Confused, though, Hemp.
That isn't it. That's an extreme outlier, anomaly, abnormality, all these different things, right? At the end of the day, though, like we said, the majority of men are not gonna just completely, totally abstain from sex. Okay.
No, 100%. I understand. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Yeah, you're doing your due diligence and you're giving the best advice, but again, advice that you know is not going to be followed. Come on, bro.
Thank you. Hold on, man. Because Strada interrupted and said he agreed with Hemp. But Hemp didn't say I'm meeting people where they at. Yes, you did. You said I agree with Hemp.
I didn't say I agree with him. I said that's why I disagree with him. You gotta listen more closely, brother.
No, you did. Oh my God, man. So
Yeah,
then
he said, CJ, that's where we part ways in advice.
Yeah. No, but then
because he was saying he'll meet them where at.
Pull it up.
Where I'm saying, yo, grab you by your shirt. Listen to me, nigga.
Right.
Rostrada say, well, since I know, go ahead.
What's beautiful, brother, is this is probably why we miss each other so much. Is because CJ would rather argue with me than give the advice to people listening. Now we're wasting time with him trying to find what I said versus spreading the message appropriately. And I think that's huge. Meaning, when I gave them talk to your own audience with this stat, we all said the same thing. But when we're talking amongst each other, now we got to disagree for the sake of disagreeing. But what he's doing right now is an excellent point of that. He would rather waste time to prove me wrong after you told him something contrary.
And that's the cool thing about the exercise, right? You and Mr. Fantastic said something very, very similar.
I put
You know what I'm saying?
I know how to fucking make this shit up. Yo, make sure you do an inspection. What the fuck you looking for? Can y'all hear this?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Our bandit attorney, don't go deep. But you might bump the skin. Wait. If you tell somebody something that he's really gonna do, don't go on.
Yeah, he about to sleep. But I'll say this: what you just said, bro, I'll be guilty of that shit because I like meeting people where they at to try to get them where I want to be. So I think that what you said is spot on. Because if we talk about this HSV shit,
thank you. He didn't say the fucking opposite. He didn't say this where we part ways.
I said I'm guilty of what he just said. I said I'm guilty of what he just said.
Man.
What he just said is I'm going to give them the right advice. I'm not going to meet them where they are.
CJ.
I said I'm guilty of that.
He was conceding.
I can't believe y'all niggas with this shit. Nigga literally said what I said he said. Now y'all gonna act like he didn't say it.
Well, he was saying he's guilty of what I was saying, and yeah, that's it. And I agree, right? And to Miss Fantastic point, let me talk, Miss Fantastic. God damn it. And I agree with what you guys are saying, right? The probability is low for me. I think the more palatable and realistic advice is to find one woman. That ass. Niggas only got 8 bodies. Find one woman, my nigga, and just do it with her. Now we get it, motherfuckers cheating at 30% click, but goddamn it, it's better than
I agree, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't have sex. Find one woman and tuck away.
Here's your bet, dog.
He on his phone, man. Y'all stall Bandit attorney out. He ain't sleep. He on his phone. He hitting them hoes up, man. See, you see that big ass head moving side to side. You know he can't.
Hey, in real time, he went from a bandit to a gentleman in real time. Be a gentleman in real time.
The bandit is gonna have a fucking, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen with the bandit. The bandit is gonna have a fucking lessons learned meeting with his team.
You have to.
And say, nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. When I give you a signal, nigga, unless you see me do this, wait for me to talk. And then he gonna text me, nigga, give Mr. Fantastic the link the last 20 minutes of the show, nigga.
After I advised him in Discord, Mr. Fantastic, that he might need to get you. He ain't
gonna
tell
cuss
him
me
that.
out. Bino, he gonna say he ain't a part of the Arnold Academy, nigga. Don't put my name up there and then give that. You know what I mean? That nigga the link.
Hey, I told him, I said, man, you gotta get Fantastic. He said, no, Fantastic. I said, all right, whatever. I said, then boom, Fantastic pop up.
They won't.
We said, hey. We were saying Fantastic is ISO Joe, bro. He gonna slow down the offense.
Yeah, that's what he said. Like, nah, Fantastic, ISO Joe. I can't get him.
I like that.
ISO Joe. That's what I was saying. Oh, you right.
I like that. ISO Joe.
You need to learn from that, nigga. You can't be ISO Joe.
That's what it was, Arnold. You right.
It's a clear out ball.
8-2-4, nigga. Yeah, clear A.
That just don't happen on the court for real,
great...
though. That's the only thing. It don't happen on the court for real, but we ain't gonna talk about that though. But yeah,
all y'all niggas talking shit about this basketball shit, niggas. This back get right. Hey, again, $1,000, nigga, no boosting.
That's what she said. 1,000.
1,000. I love it. I love me.
He ISO Joe is crazy. Yo, that's a fucking great analogy.
Check on that 824. ISO Joe.
Yo. That is funny as fuck, son. He ISO Joe, Mr. Arnold.
It's a fact, bro. Like, hey, when Fantastic got that film, like, I had dreams, aspirations for this panel. You know what I'm saying? But Fantastic, did his thing.
Oh, yeah. So he came out and at first you was a little bit off.
I was like, okay, well, Shaw, I think he got something. He done wrote a thesis statement. Let's go. But
we whip Shaw ass. That shit's trash.
Again, brother, again. I was saying, Hamp, again.
So Arnold,
you see the pool mic, the mask off him, the mask off. It came off for a reason.
All right, this is what I need, man. All right, this is what I need. All right, Arnold. Nigga rubbing his face and shit. God damn, nigga. Send that nigga some alcohol, nigga. I ain't tricking on you no more, nigga. So when y'all go back and forth, what is the main crux of the issue? Not to say y'all have an issue, but when y'all go back and forth, what do y'all usually get into it about?
Shaw thinks that we're trying to just demonize the black woman. And most of what we say is unfounded.
Do you disagree, Shaw?
I think with my issue, I actually don't. Cause me and Arnold, you know, you got to do the internet thing sometimes. But me and Arnold actually have had pretty good conversations in the Discord. And I think when we slow it down, Arnold says his intent overall is to improve the black community. I think a lot of times, and I even add Mr. Fantastic in there sometimes, I think that I don't always agree with the methods. I think over time I've learned to accept that if it's yielding positive results, they don't have to do it my way. And I think this conversation about the statistics is another example of that, because I'm only here to provide edification. It's not to tell Mr. Fantastic stop doing what he's doing. No, Arnold, but it's like, I just, for me personally, because I have these same conversations that they have with the public, with the women in my life, and it's never as contentious, because I don't think it has to be. If our actual goal is to improve the community, I don't understand why we have accepted this idea. We have to like tear each other down to get to the next step. And that has never worked for me personally. So I think sometimes, I think the majority of the time, I think Arnold's a very intelligent guy, but he does the performative thing because it's very popular in this community. But I imagine when Arnold's not in Discord, when he ain't playing Bandit attorney, Arnold has very substantive conversations with the women in his life to get to a goal. And it's not the way he does it here. That's just my assumption.
Right. So most of the time, you can't find a clip of me demonizing the black woman. You go so
not online for sure. You're right. Yeah, not online.
I'm saying that I guess the space that I feel is when I feel like something is not being articulated correctly, right? And I can step up and hear what CJ is saying. If it's a communication issue, I can step up and say, no, this is what's going on. This is what they're experiencing. This is how it looks in real life. This is what you might have saw it as in your life, and connect those dots. So I end up standing in that void, and then I get painted with that picture, and I'm fine with that. I'm okay with being the Bandit attorney. I'm cool with that. So if that jacket get put on me in the process, I don't, it don't bother me. I'm okay with being the villain.
Mm-hmm. And then one more thing, and because I feel like there's people here that agree with me. Arnold he doesn't do it here, but in the Discord, Arnold, the way he argues, he'll move. He'll like Arnold, for Arnold, truth is not like a destination; it's a moving target. And he'll start a premise, and when he sees that, oh shit, I might not be winning this one, he's very cunning, and he'll move it and try to confuse you. And then it's like that's when everybody join in, and I don't know what he does. That's when the Joker see how he's smiling, because the Joker come out, all the minions come out. What do you got? You got my boy Sporty ad-libbing. You know what I mean? And now it's like we're not talking about what the original premise is. Now we're doing a performative thing, and Arnold don't understand. I've been around long enough to see it. Arnold's a very intelligent dude. I told Arnold he need to get his own platform. He's really good at facilitating conversation, but he's full of shit a lot of times too. And I ain't the only one that think it. It's a couple people that have told him that, but he's good at what he does. He's been doing it for a long time. He's a fierce competitor for sure. 100%. But I think if he stopped using his powers for evil and use it for good, I think the black community can get a lot farther with guys like Arnold. Because he's very intelligent. Very intelligent.
I took his time out, hit a hand now, trying to kneel it down. Look at his face. I'm a fierce competitor. He choked. I didn't.
Gabe, where'd you come up with that?
Being about
That's the
that.
honor. That's the honor we know.
Being about that action.
I agree, man. I agree. Arnold still on his
It ain't no-
revenge streak. He got to let it go, man. The revenge is done. You got it now, man. Let's go. All right, transition on over, man.
All right.
Come with the good guys on. We can use you.
All right, Arnold ain't going to
He's
y'all gay
smiling
ass
and shit.
side. Feel me?
Right.
Yeah,
Now,
no, I'm just arming him, man.
now shot. Now shot.
Academy
This
too
son.
for a reason. All the notes Shaw said he had.
Hold on, CJ. Let him lay the premise. That was for Arnold. Arnold left blushing, nigga. He took what it was said. Feel me? He didn't even take a shot with me tonight. This nigga's got this nigga on some fucking. This nigga's like a nun or some shit. So, see, don't drink all that water, money. You ain't that thirsty, nigga. What about this nigga, Shaw?
Shit. This nigga the Tasmanian devil. I don't know what. On Monday, he another person. On Tuesday, women are hoes. We hate them. Niggas just want them to be on the fence. On Wednesday, we love them. This is why we here. This is why we call them hoes, because we really love them. That's why we talk to them this way, because men actually love women. That's why we keep saying they're whores. The logic be all over the place. Then the ironic part is when CJ gets done and ranting, he's doing the same thing that all other men are doing. With a woman trying to navigate or doing things to make her to make her feel better about her situation. He doing the same thing every other man is, but we all pussies and everything else, but we don't agree with him. It's nonsense. It's informative.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a decent summary. That was
Appreciate you, brother.
Summary, except for the logic be
Appreciate
all
you.
over the place. The logic is pretty consistent. The problem is, like I said, I just give the knowledge out. Man, fantastic, Arnold. We just giving out information, and y'all do with it what you will. We give
Hey CJ, I
advice.
don't think you're a part of the.
Finish my
You're not a part of the temptation, CJ. You gotta stop thinking that.
Don't interrupt.
You're the sound man. You're not a part of the group, bro. And I wish Fantastic would tell you explicitly you're not a part of the temptation.
Can I finish?
My bad.
Whoa. He not whoa. The Bandit Academy.
My bad.
Fantastic play ISO ball. You know what I'm saying? We represent for the academy. We want CJ to get better at what he's doing. That's what we
Ham,
want.
show him the background, Ham. Who on the background picture?
You are.
Thank you. That means I'm part of the plantation, whatever you called it. I'm part of the fucking
what?
Plantation. That's what I'm saying, man.
On Juneteenth Eve.
How much I got to send you to edit that out?
Nigga, this nigga said plan. I need at least $1 million.
I think it's the same thing.
No final thoughts, Ham. I don't got no final thoughts.
It's the same thing with CJ, man. Like CJ got a girl that he told us he loved, man, and I believe him.
I do love my girl.
I believe you. I believe you. So when you to me when you come on the internet and you talk about women the way you talk about them, I just don't get like. But when you got a woman at home, it just doesn't make sense for me logically, bro. That's all. That's just me.
The truth, Arnold. Most women are hoes, man. I don't make the rules. I don't want it to be that way. I didn't think they were hoes growing up, but once my 34 years of living, I realized it. I say, damn, women act this way. And you want to keep caping for them. I know you don't like me saying this shit, but
you cool. Get it off.
Protect them a little bit. You want to cape for them, have your shield up for them, and always. I'm an individualist too. So a lot of individuals are turning out to be hoes. So once you group those individuals together, you say, damn, like 80%. It's like stats, brother. Once you put the stats together, then you get a whole. You take each individual person, and then you put the stats together, and you get the statistics. There you go, brother. Easy peasy.
You put all that stats together, then you build a hoe. It's crazy, bro.
Right.
I don't know, man.
I'm just telling you, Shad, man. I see what's going on. And you can keep acting like it's not going on. But the men are learning. The men are figuring this shit out. And it is what it is. So I mean, the men are here for a reason. Because men are starting to understand what women nature is. And it's not a good nature. It's not positive. The shit that we learning is negative. Majority. So
Yeah, so like, you know what I'm saying, the Bandit Academy is a think tank. We have concepts in the beginning stages that when the world catch on to these things, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna blow the world's mind with these concepts. Never before heard things.
And a lot of these concepts
that we bring into the public. Stay
a lot of these
tuned.
concepts are being used everywhere else. I mean, they already still in our fucking concepts.
Bro, help. I think really sometimes like the audience and others, they prefer the polarization of black people to argue and fight, but me and Mr. Fantastic, when we actually talk it out, we realize we ain't that far apart. I might think the way he do things can be different, but at the same time, we're not that far apart. The same thing is kind of goes with Arnold. When me and Arnold in the Discord, and we slow it down and we're not doing or whatever we do to get everybody going, the conversations go well. So to me, I'm just like, I'm telling myself, like, I can't, that ain't my personality, because in my real life, hemp, I don't argue and do all that rah-rah. It's pointless to me, man. So I don't actually have no issues with nobody for real. CJ get on my nerves because I think it's his voice. It sounds like something is stuck when he talk, and I think it just be hard for me to pause. You're right. He starts squealing, and it just makes it very difficult to stay in that pocket with him.
And I got no real issue with Shy either.
Yeah, ain't no real issue, man. No,
it's definitely YouTube. It's definitely just the talking point, you know. I do think the level of the level of hyperbole in about how bad either sex is detrimental, though.
Facts.
I do think that, like, the level of hyperbole, you know. And so, like, as an example, when we talk about K Michelle, we can say, okay, what percentage that is, but also generally speaking, are we dealing with that in our everyday lives for the majority of women? Like, are they just fucking? Go ahead, CJ.
I wish it was hyperbole, huh? But it's not, motherfucker. I hope I said it right. It's not, bro. These women are terrible. Fucking A, man. It's like 80-90%. It's not hyperbole. There you go. I said it right that time, motherfuckers.
Oh, so you think it's 90%?
It's a high percentage. That might have been hyperbole. 90% might be high, but 75% for sure.
Just bad. Just suck.
Suck. I'm getting in a relationship. Why do you think the marriage rate so high? Marriage rate 50%. Other 25% going through hell, I believe. You might have 20% that's good. Maybe 10% that's good.
So you're saying the divorce rate is 50%. So 50% of them women are diabolical.
Diabolical.
And then the ones that are remain married, 30% of them are diabolical.
Diabolical.
Why you did that? Like, why you what? This don't even make, what's the logic? Just
I see how women are moving. I say, God damn, this shit terrible. It might not be true.
You know what it is, Hemp? I get it now. A nigga like Mr. Fantastic, he's gonna do his due diligence, analyze the stats. But he's talking to a nigga like CJ. CJ is gonna be like, oh, because Mr. Fantastic said this. Then I'm gonna put all my stuff together, and all women are hoes.
Mr. Fantastic my fucking intro to the manosphere.
My bad. I'm just using it. I thought that was funny. Like, I gotta make that correlation right
disagree with you, Mr. Fantastic. I've disagreed with Mr. Fantastic on the fucking show before.
Yeah, and then turn around and agree with me. And then turn around and agree with me the next
You might have been right. We had a disagreement about the fat women, like Mr. Fantastic. I fuck with my guy, Mr. Fantastic, because he's genuine and he's telling the truth most of the time, and I agree with most of the shit he's saying. But that don't mean everything he's saying is fucking holy. I believe it's to be fucking true. Go ahead, Mr. Fantastic, my brother.
No, man. Yeah, let me do my thing, man. Listen, at the end of the day, bro. Shout out to Hamp. Like I said, I think it's divine intervention and everything, and coming along over here, introduced to a whole another group of people to some things they never heard, right? Hamp isn't Manosphere. He didn't start Manosphere, so on and so forth. He's having a totally different conversation, and a lot of the quote unquote talking points y'all talking about, even though everything is a fucking talking point. I hate when people say that shit, but okay. Got introduced, and then at the end of the day, he's had to pretty much give credence to or give the information that I was saying, and listening to the audience, and hey, y'all say he's lying, he's wrong, and every time I'm not. Now, to Shah's point, like you said, hey, from a scientific standpoint, you can't make conclusions off of certain things, there's never any survey or data collection that's going to be 100%, right? So, but still, like I said, when we mix the science with the layman's terms, and shout out to Shad for giving all his context and literally explaining things, giving us lessons. I hope y'all niggas were taking notes. You know what I mean? And shout out to the person in the chat that gave us the formula, right? And all these different things. So we all are versed in a lot of different things, bro. Most of us damn near 40, if not 40. Okay, we ain't no young niggas. So please stop acting like it ain't accomplished. Okay, ain't nobody up here no motherfucking crumb bum, nigga. Ain't nobody no motherfucking Rudy Poo out here, motherfucker. Shout out to the Rock, right? But at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff has never been said. It's a very difficult conversation for Black men to start defending ourselves and using stats and data to do it. And then whenever you bring up the Black men stats and data and this negative shit, there's no fight, there's no pushback. It's hey, we'll do better. We gonna do better. We gonna do better. We gonna do better. We gonna do better. But as soon as you fucking bring up the Black women, now a lot of pushback. Now we need all the context. Now we need all the things. And the chat loves doing this shit when again the stats say at least half of y'all got dirty pussies out here. So niggas be careful. Don't be picking these hoes out of these chats. Okay. The main ones that be here talking all that shit got I don't even know what they call that shit. Whatever the herpes medicine is in their cabinet. Okay, that's another thing too, brother. Check the medicine cabinet. That's some shit that don't never lie. All right.
There's advice for you guys. Advice.
Yeah, that's something that all of us forgot to say, my nigga. If you come to that crib or whatever, my nigga, you don't know, you can't pronounce them drugs, niggas. Hey, you might want to leave that alone. But
more advice for you guys.
I think it was a great conversation had tonight. And like Shad says, man, we may disagree, on the methods, but I think we're all trying. Well, I know for a fact we're all trying to get the betterment of Black people as a whole, Black men and women, and especially shout out to him, the young niggas, right? Because we all been young niggas, and we know young niggas don't never think young niggas literally think we own some motherfucking immortal shit. Can't nothing happen to you. You invincible, right? So man, I think there's a lot of great aspects, concepts, precepts, a lot of different things, life experience from a lot of the knowledgeable brothers, man. I think this is a wonderful conversation. And hold on, man, I'm done after this. Y'all niggas love the nigga shit. Like Shad said, once you start slowing down, the chat slow down, niggas leave, and the niggas start agreeing. Y'all don't want to hear that anyway. So please stop acting like y'all don't want to hear niggas argue.
Yeah. I think and I appreciate everything Mr. Fantastic said, right? One thing I like is that I'm stronger than that nigga. So when I give him a hug, he can't push me off. You feel me? I'm still getting that nigga acclimated to like, you know what I mean? I love you, my nigga. You feel me? He ain't used to that type of shit. I mean, whatever they fuck they doing making, nigga, need to be studied.
Yeah, man.
But
my son can't even hug me, nigga.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I understand why people are doing what they doing. Feel me? I just like there's a level of normalcy that I think we are continuing to introduce. Like when we talk about the abortion stat as an example, me and Bub played it out. Niggas know what happened. I told y'all about my nigga Fuego Boss. He was pro-life until his ugly bitch got pregnant. And I just want people to know that's what be happening. When your man call you and the wrong girl pregnant, both niggas on the phone like, what you gonna do?
Right.
I'm gonna try to play it slow, offer her some money. I ain't trying to excite her, see what she. And I just want to understand, like, we ain't obtuse.
That's my advice to the young niggas.
We understand the conduct overall. We understand the complicit nature in conduct while not exonerating anybody. And the main culprit need to be called out 100%. But we just got to make sure that we give the percentages accurately to who's at fault, right? Because as long as everybody knows they're at fault, at what percentage they make that level of correction, now you get 100. So I appreciate like how we able to kind of mind through things and shit like that. You know what I mean?
So
Man,
help. I was thinking about this.
Mic drop on that, man. Ham said some good profound
You right.
shit.
You right. Let it marinate. You right. My bad, CJ. You right.
So I'm gonna read these super chats. I want to hear what y'all gotta say. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Aaron with the $2. Shy, you done an R&B video, man. I love you, cousin.
Hey, bro, if you, I don't know if you're trying to say I'm handsome or something, bro, but pause. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
He might be saying it. DC Slim with the $5 says, let's be real and admit some of the people on the panel hate black men and women. Mr. Charlie will love you for it. The real Gabe. Well. Is that the boneless fit? What does that mean? Boneless. I don't know what that means. Aaron with the $2 says, Cameron on fire tonight. That song says it all. As Ave in the building. Wow. What the 20 ball says, the problem with the stats is that it includes all women who call themselves black, want to be black. However, you men are only putting black African-American women in the stat. This makes your argument not real. Example, one drop rule. Race is complex social construct. Onikasu with the 2000. Most women got 5+ bodies. Definitely goes what? Oh, thanks, Callie. Oh, Callie said 4 more bodies, you a hoe. That's what Callie said. That's why he's saying that. Go ahead, Shaw. What you about to say? Talk your shit.
When I was, we prepare. I'm gonna get you a copy of my thesis for my master's program because my thesis hypothesis was men don't care about their health, right? And so in my lit review, I think we had a standard of I had to research 60 different topics. And what I found out was it was actually a fallacy that men do care about their health. But however, the way the healthcare system is constructed, even from things simple as him going into a facility and there's pink on the walls and there's pictures of babies, right? So that just makes men uncomfortable. So what I did along with one of my advisors, we came up with this locker room concept. So when men needed to go to get, exams for colon cancer or STI, we created you walked in, it looked like a locker room. Something that a place where men, similar to a cigar bar, a place where men will actually be comfortable because it's very uncomfortable because for the most part, the healthcare system is centered around the sensitivities of women. You see what I mean? So I want you, and I want you to read that. We maybe talk about it another time because my paper kind of address kind of what we're talking about now. How when we have these conversations, then you go, how do we fix these issues? We just don't stop it, man. Niggas don't care about their health. That's why everything's so bad. We have to dig deeper to figure out what's actually going on because maybe it's something we can actually solve. That's what statistics and research does at its best.
You covered up your mic for a little second. You good now though?
My bad.
That's what research does at its best.
Yeah, that's what research does at its best, right? So I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna go to my grad school and get a copy. I want you to read that and tell me what you think about it.
I want to read it, right? And I'm interested, so much so because my wife just defended hers, right? Okay. And it was about disparity in the education system as it pertains to black children and what's the thing? IEPs, right? How they're likely to get IEPs because of misunderstanding, funding, and programs that you are allowed to take advantage of if your kid has an IEP. So what's the parents' complicit nature in it and etc. So I'm really, really interested to read that. You know what I'm saying? Because that matters. There's a thing that popped in my head. Iowa, right? The away game locker room. I don't know if it's like this now. It was in 2004. The away team locker room is pink. So when you play Iowa, at least back then, that locker room was pink.
Wow.
And when you walk in there, you're like, what the fuck is this? Right? You thinking I'm a football player. I don't give a fuck what color these walls are. You shitting me. If everything pink, it evoke a different feeling, which is why you don't listen to Boys to Men before the game.
Right.
So I'm just thinking about what you said, and I'm just like, damn, that makes sense. Comfortability. Right? What you willing to share, even, right? You know, so that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I grew up believing that, especially in the South. I always heard men don't care about their health; they just gonna get cancer and die when they're old. And I realized it's deeper than that. You talk about racial disparity; they fucking experimented on black men for generations, and that message was passed through conversation. The elders told the younger boys about what happened when they went to hospitals and things like that. All that has to be considered, man. So it just science.
Yeah, and that's what you dive into, you know.
Yep.
And we nearing the 3 hour mark. But one thing that I do want to talk about, Arnold, CJ, Mr. Fantastic, Strada, Bino, Shaw, right, is if we come up in a similar construct that isn't conducive to children being successful, and yet we all come up in it, right? Not all, right? I'm being hyperbolic, but fatherless homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talk about the residual effects of that, right? But when we talk about dealing with the women who also come up in that construct, we don't give it a lot of consideration, seemingly.
Right.
It's almost like we act surprised or so taken aback about their conduct, but without the father, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if we talked about that thoroughly. You know? What you think, Beat on bugging? Like, go ahead.
Not at all. You bugging. That'd be one of my thoughts too when we be talking about these conversations. Like it's the opposite end of the stick, and that's the women. And when we think about us and we think about women, like that's exactly how it's going to end up happening. What we see today, you know what I mean? What we focus on much on them, but it's on our end too. It just looks different, and we have more control, say so, and power and shame that we could put. Because I like to believe it's still a man's world. You know what I mean?
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'll say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I try to give. We try to give women the benefit of the doubt, but it's hard to give them.
Who?
Most men.
You know, you saying you ain't. Where do you?
To me as well, motherfucker.
Oh, nigga, hush. Go ahead,
I'm an
Shot.
individualist.
That's
But wait,
he all over the place. Go ahead.
It's hard.
Come on, C. Come on, C. We having a heart to heart, my nigga. Don't do it.
It's hard to see
Go ahead.
that you see
Talk
that
his
women
shit.
are the main culprit of the fatherless homes. It's hard to give women a pass for the shit when you see that they causing it. That's the point. They causing fatherless homes, then we want to give them a pass for being fatherless. Stop doing this shit. Go ahead. That's it.
Yo, Arnold, can I be a fly on the wall to the Bandit accounting, the Bandit Academy lessons learned session? Look at Arnold.
Hey, hold on, bro.
Hey, we won tonight. We
funny part is
tonight.
We gonna be in Vegas this weekend.
I might have been wrong about that Strada point.
Yeah.
I might have been wrong about what Strada said, but I'm
We
gonna
having
look
a
it up.
retreat.
I think I was right, motherfucker.
We having a retreat.
I'm gonna let you know in the Discourse.
Damn it. That nigga Arnold couldn't even finish his food.
I'm just telling y'all, man. Women causing this fatherless home shit. Now we can't be giving them a path of being fatherless. Come on, man. Makes sense.
Nigga crazy. Arnold, say something, nigga. That's your role, ain't it?
Hey, it's on
Make
the
sense.
This is what it look like. Hey, we don't have the infrastructure shot to have a HR academy for the training for onboarding new students. So that's what it look like.
Yo, man, you might need Mr. Fantastic as the HR or something, nigga.
Yeah, he gotta be a guest instructor or something.
I know we whooped their ass tonight.
Professor Emeritus.
That's what I know. We took the first point. We took the second.
Hey, but Hamp, I do think like the perfect pairing, like as I said earlier, I'm cool on all the beating over the head, but I also think that particularly black men do have to learn grace with boundaries, because I talk about grace all the time, but I also understand there are boundaries that have to be put in place, because when you encounter certain women, you got to know how to let them go and do what's good for your health and what benefits you. But the idea that we're gonna just like throw them all away, I just don't see how that's beneficial to like what we're trying to do in the future with everything going on. Because I mean, we got these different sectors. You got passport bros, you got whatever. But in mass, ain't nobody saving black people. Black people. I don't care what niggas argue about on the internet. I don't care what stats y'all put in front of me. You can't make me believe that somebody else is gonna fix what we got going on here. It has never happened and it never will. So we stuck with each other. I don't care how tough it is. We stuck with each other. So the best bet is to figure out how to move forward in a positive way. And I think we doing it again. I just think sometimes the way we do it, I just question the effectiveness. But HAMP, I appreciate you for telling me, Shy, slow down. We ain't to solutions. We still ironing it out. So I'm still in the journey with y'all, man, trying to figure it out. And some days y'all ain't gonna feel me, but at the end of the day, my intentions are not to get in the way of anybody's progress or anything like that.
Damn,
So
I'm stuck with y'all motherfuckers.
stuck, bro. Where's you gonna go?
Yeah,
who else gonna deal? Who else gonna deal with you, bro?
Hey, hold on, CJ.
I like y'all niggas.
Hey,
I
bro.
like y'all
Hey,
niggas,
CJ.
man.
Hey, that's immediate exposure. You talking about you about to build with the white man? Immediate exposure.
Media.
Hey, I like y'all niggas, man. But I'm hungry, bro. I gotta go get food.
Yeah. Well, hold on, CJ. No, I think that's the substance of it, Shaw. Ain't nobody coming to save us.
Nobody.
I'm saying, and if we ostracize the counterpart, right, to the point where motherfuckers is trying to normalize divesting and shit like that, there's no upward trajectory there, right? When I was told, and I think Mr. Fantastic told me about 23, that's a real alarm, bro. Like that is a real alarm, you know. And if our counterpart, right, if our women are relegated to was it black people or women specifically, Mr. Fantastic, are permanent underclass? Black people, right?
Yeah, black people as a whole by 2053 will be a permanent underclass economically.
Yeah, separation doesn't help that. You know what I'm saying? Now, correction is necessary and absolutely needed.
Yep.
Right? Point blank, period. So it's not we can exist in what we are now and think it's gonna work. This ain't gonna work. So people need to change our behaviors 100%. And we can't perpetuate the things that we do currently. Right? So we're not saying that nothing needs to change. It has to change, and we also got to make sure it changes so that we can be more cohesive. Period. You know, and so you need the accountabilities, you know. So and I just motherfucking white women, I just don't get it, bro.
Get it.
Hey, listen,
They feel good, brother.
No. I'm sick of you niggas. No. Shout out to the black men, the straight black men, bro. She motherfucking white, Asian, polka dot, nigga. Fuck it. Cause again, I don't hear y'all say none to these brother fuckers. Okay? So until y'all start talking about what the brother fuckers out here doing, all right, you rainbow warriors in the chat that's gonna pop out of the motherfucking sunroof or some shit. I'm sick of it. Black man, do what's best for you, brother. That black women out here doing the goddamn divestment shit and niggas and shit, and the white man better and they getting chopped the fuck up literally. So if it's a straight black man fault, hey HAMP, you are what your who is?
Your father.
All right then. So straight black man, you control the motherfucking black race.
All I'm saying is this, Mr. Fantastic, you already told me that don't nobody else want him. So we know
but
that
they want us.
No, but I'm saying that we all know that's just smoke. That's just a trope, right? Because if you're saying nobody else want them, I'm just saying white women let their dogs look them in the face, my nigga.
Yeah, don't choose those. Don't deal with those, man.
Hey, deal with white women too. White women are nice and they got nice titties and
I'm
asses.
just saying, bro. The Migos, they be looking good, and you got to check their ankles, my nigga.
Well, that's the
Migos.
Mexican.
She gonna be 280 to get a baby or whatever you be saying, Mr. Fantastic, like 30 years old.
Hold
on, CJ.
All the Hispanics and Latinos not built the same. The Mexicans are the worst ones. Stay away from the ones in Central America. Get one from South America.
Hold on. First off, nigga. It's the same Migo, nigga. They all Mexican. It's just a matter of what island, what place. You shitting me? Nigga, you seen, hold on. Don't let me talk to you. You seen Apocalypto, nigga. It's all the same, nigga.
To you.
That's Central America.
It's all the same, bro. What the fuck they just walking back and forth.
Guatemalan hell.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now. Y'all listen to me, they don't know shit. I'm from the East Coast, nigga. We know the Migos, nigga.
There's more nigga Brazilians than Americans. Hamp. Hell, you talking about?
I'm talking about the ones that ain't nigga. Well, now
All right,
let me finish.
they are. And then the Puerto Ricans and the
Can I
Dominicans.
kill that shit, bro? Come on, mira que pasa, man.
Got
Come
no
on,
nigga in them,
man.
put some nigga in them. If they ain't got no nigga in them, put nigga in them.
I'm just saying, bro. This what you do. You get a fine Puerto Rican or whatever the case is, right? She gotta roll her pant leg up at least 5 inches, my nigga. If that ankle starting to sink, you should know what time it is, bro. I'm trying to tell you, y'all
They
niggas
go down
be doing
bad
too
early,
much.
all of them. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. All of them go down
y'all be
bad
doing
early.
too much with this shit, bro.
All
Like,
of them
yo,
go down bad early.
black women be hit. Like, yo, I'm just saying, bro.
We in DC soon. I can't wait to see.
Fantastic. Central, South, they all go down bad
Can't
early.
wait. I can't wait.
Bitches from the island, and the further south she is, and the islands, they good, man. But you deal with the Mexicans, nigga, you have a refrigerator by 25. Okay, that's dangerous. Right? You keep the motherfucking Maria and Consuela.
Damn, bro.
Hey, tamale's gonna be good, but she gonna be as wild as they is. Okay. Listen, man.
Yo, y'all ain't shit, bro.
But nah, listen, bro. All I'm saying is this, Hamp. Listen, Barrett. Black men are the fucking hype is building, man. A lot of people out here talking about the brothers and black women trying. Oh, y'all just being fetishized. Y'all being fetishized. All right. Yeah, cool, whatever.
Fetishize me, whatever.
This work, the work that we are doing. Okay, the work that we are doing.
Fantastic. Come on, man. Look at this nigga here, man. Come on.
What,
man?
hey, man, come on, bro. I saw CJ on nothing but snow bunnies in motherfucking Houston, nigga. That nigga ain't cares though. Hey, CJ, listen. You know what I mean?
It was a bad light skin. Oh, she was bad.
Whoa. You got a girlfriend. Just
you gotta
nigga.
relax.
Fucking diabolical, nigga.
Fucking work,
relationship.
I'm got eyes because I got a girl.
Listen, bro.
Protein bar, nigga.
I'm hungry.
Y'all niggas gotta stop.
I told you I was hungry.
Yo, Arnold, you just letting this nigga just yo, Arnold. Yo.
I'm so hungry, bro.
Yo, my God, bro. Bino, what you think, man?
I don't know, man. Man, look, I had a great time with y'all, man. Great conversation with y'all, man. Overall, man, like I said, man, I'm gonna still stick with the deep discipline. I feel like it's an all-exclusive way for the black community to get better overall, from broken homes to STD rates to, all types of social reasons. I know the probability is low, but I feel like there's enough men, especially in our age ranges, that been there, done that can do that, more than capable of doing that, especially the ones that are already locked away. I'm not saying don't have sex. What I'm saying is, like you saying, get your one, get out the way, and the more we build with that, the more we put that into the generations after us. Like, it's gonna be a sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be for the overall good. Like I say, one of my things is all good when it's fun, but when ain't no fun no more, there ain't no good in it. And that's what we feeling at our age range. That's what we seeing behind us. That's what we seeing ahead of us. And if we take the best possible route, the condo way is cool, but if that's the best, safest, most fastest route to get to where we are trying to go up here, nah. So that's what I got, man. Appreciate y'all.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man, for sure. That's all I got, though.
I agree.
Great show. Appreciate chopping up with y'all, man. We're not as different as we think. Accountability starts in the mirror and it works outward. Control your controllables and navigate the things you can't.
It's a fact, though. It's a fact. Bandit attorney.
What's poppin', America? The following message brought to you by the Bandit Academy. I'm saying we here to stay, and we here to stump fools out that think they coming up with something light. We represent the manosphere. This the new manosphere. Yo, so I can articulate what I'm saying, and I'm gonna go home to a woman because we love black women, and we want them to be able to be with black men. And it's and it might sound like a way that you don't like, but that's how we talking.
I took his time out, hit a hand nine, trying to kneel it down. Look at his face. I'm a fierce competitor. He choked. I didn't.
Gabe, where'd you come up with that?
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard. I ain't gonna lie. That's hard.
Biology show. That's interesting.
They was in a library. We gotta cut it. That was hard. That was crazy.
Shit is hard. I ain't gonna lie. I like that shit.
That's hard. That's hard.
Then they go to the dude. White boy, he looking sad.
That jacket ain't. I ain't gonna lie though. That jacket ain't shit.
That jacket pissed me off. That jacket pissed me off.
I like why he had that. Why he did that? Like, what made you get that jacket in the first place?
So look, where I was at in that video, like it was like a tryout to get on the Madden bus. So like you kind of had a little bit of personality, something to you, right? To like, oh, the camera's coming to interview and you say, okay, who are you? They talk to you. So I just did that to stand out from the crowd.
Got you. All right. I appreciate that context.
I got you.
Why are we yelling in the library playing Madden? I was confused as shit.
Hey, wait. You did what? You did what to stand out from the crowd?
I had the jacket. I'm short, bro. It's a room full of people. They got to like, oh, who is that wild looking dude with that gold jacket? We was actually playing in a conference room in the casino in that video.
Hey, don't be questioning my boy Arnold, man.
At the hotel in Compton.
Tell him we dealt with y'all for the night.
I took his time out, hit a hand nine.
You think because it's gold? Oh, okay. You had it. Okay.
Be a fierce competitor. What you mean?
CJ, hush, please. Good God Almighty, man.
I'm hungry, man. We starting to my brain starting.
Hey, let me ask Big Chuck, what you think about Uncle CJ, man?
Look at Chuck. Chuck said that shit lame, right, Chuck?
Chuck don't want to be with you.
He didn't even want to say it. Like my CJ, the coolest motherfucker I know.
Jesus Christ, man. I hate that jacket though. What kind of shoes you had on, Arnold?
I feel like I've been wearing black ones for like 15 years straight.
Makes sense.
You still
that make perfect sense.
One type of guy too. Makes sense.
Definitely a black one guy for sure.
Air Forces.
Crash out king.
Look, I went to college. I wear the black Jordan ones, right? So like it's still adjacent, but I wear the Jordan ones, all black, triple black Jordan ones.
Yeah, but they was mid tops though.
I wear long pants. I don't wear shorts.
You got it from Ross. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets to DC, man. Let's keep it
thanks,
tall.
We about to have a ball and
We about to turn up, bro.
I'm about to be a ball, bro.
Can I get my final thoughts or what?
No.
Yeah, go ahead. CJ, let me just read the super chat real quick. Curtis with the $5. Arnold, CJ can be the mascot like the movie Radio. DC Slim with the $5. Talking about our problems is a business. Some of y'all profit off our struggles. These frauds ain't helping. Get your tickets to DC, yo. It's so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do because we got so many options, but I might just do the few events and let y'all just roam. Feel me? Just like, yo, it's the best fucking. If it don't rain, bro, you're gonna see so much sunshine, and that's an entendre.
Hey, it said 99 degrees.
Yo, it's gonna be hot as shit.
That's gonna be hot. Shit.
Alicia hit the panel with the fro, and niggas be like, "Oh, I love nigga, come to DC, bro." I'm trying to tell you, bro. I told my wife, send it to all your friends. You know what I'm saying? They almost over the hill, so they need send them. Just, look, I got a bunch of eligible niggas coming. B, you heard? You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be fire, man.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, CJ.
All right, man. This is one for the Bandit Academy. We whooped y'all ass today. Shout out to my nigga Arnold.